Alright, so who wants to kick off the recap?
I got it. Having returned to the town, we
Which
had
town?
made our way into the church to reconnect with the priest slash investigate based on information we had learned while we were in the labyrinth. Niu and Amaranth decided to leave to find a bookstore. Upon leaving, both them and the group that was waiting inside the church still were accosted by guards, with the exception of Petra, who snuck by because size. And through a little bit of interaction, all ended up being taken to the jail under the premise of meeting with the captain.
And everyone
Petra
else. Sorry. And everyone else had lied about their names except for Petra.
Petra had followed behind, eventually got caught, but in the process, the rest of the group was booked.
Raynor didn't lie about
Several
his name.
of them lied about their name. Amaranth was caught in the lie. Niu didn't even give a name. And Raynor actually gave his proper name. Once Petra was captured, she went in, gave her proper name. By then, the rest of the group had already been shoved in cells. Petra got shoved in a cell. The captain eventually came.
Because he recognized Petra's name.
Having to look at the book to see who was calling for him, he recognized Petra's name, went to see Petra specifically. Confusion happened because Petra was like, "Why is this happening? I didn't murder somebody," and was freaking out. But eventually the captain started to leave. Niu casted Suggest on him to force him to open everyone's cells, which kind of went nowhere because there was still a court thing scheduled and everything, so we all decided to stick around. Eventually went into the courtroom where we met with the judge, had a little back and forth. Amaranth convinced him that we were innocent, and we got off scot-free and were released. After that, we all fucked off to figure out what the fuck and continue our research, which led us to a bookstore, which had a magically enchanted book as the clerk. Everyone kind of searched for their own things. Petra looked for stuff on dinosaurs. Amaranth and Niu went about different paths, searching for stuff on the cult. Amaranth got her hands on a book that taught her Abyssal, and a book about her secret book that erases things from existence. Niu got her hands on a bona fide, real-ass copy of the same book that Geo had. As well as a list of powerful liches and a book on the life cycle of liches, which described how to kill liches. Eventually we left, went to get food, discussed some of our findings in the library. Niu read through the book, which had information on Guthix as well as the two other gods of the pantheon that this cult claimed to worship one of the gods of. And we eventually finished that. Decided over food that we need to head back to Fondania to report to the Rose Captain, because it had been 3 months, which we discovered in the process of being arrested and whatnot, that we were in that labyrinth. I almost forgot to mention that. And decided it was best to go check in, plus we have a bunch of information now. So, needing to do that, we left to find a way the fuck out, which led us to a travel thing, which told us no, you can't get there by water because we came in on a little piddly-ass fishing pier. And one thing led to another. We all ended up buying horses, and he directed us to a mercantile guild or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, to get a mercantile license, which would help us through borders. And that's kind of where we left off, because that was really near the end of the session, and we all wanted to have a little time to think up a name of the group which was required for the mercantile license.
Okay. That was a very long recap, but yeah, you pretty much covered the whole thing. Good job. With that being said, I don't feel like I have to reintroduce any part of what happened. But yeah, so where we left off, like you just said, you guys were trying to figure out the merchant's license, which I actually have the application form ready for whenever you guys decide to actually go get the paperwork and stuff.
Decide which what names we were going to pick. Did anyone have any ideas of names?
I actually had a thought about this. So, I think it would be nice and probably beneficial to us to, because this is a mercantile license. We want it to sound like something merchanty, so it doesn't really get thrown into question. That said, we could do something like, related to, like, intentionally put Fondinia in the name, or Fondinian, to identify us as from that country, hopefully. Therefore, also giving us premise to not get involved in other bullshit if people think we might be, if we're traveling through, like, the war zones or something, and they think we might be the enemy. Be like,
That's an
"No,
excellent
we're
idea.
Fondinian."
We should go with Fundinian young cannibals.
Perfect.
I mean, I totally get where you're coming from. However, I don't think we should base it on a place and like Fundinian, because just like you were saying about civil wars, it doesn't mean that everyone likes the people of Fundinia. So I think it should be something that is something to do with merchants, but also relatively ambiguous, so it doesn't show that we have any kind of connection.
I'm trying to come up with names with ChatGPT, and one of the ones that popped up was Midget Marketplace.
That's you.
That makes sense. I mean, you sell babies, so
Yeah, you really did.
We
Amaranth.
sold one, and you know what? I'll do it again. I told you this before. I don't care.
Pint-sized peddlers.
With only one person who's the smallest out of the group.
No, we also have Smokey.
No, we
Smokey,
don't.
you do not have Smokey yet. Your
Renegade.
character does not know that Smokey exists, or
Yes.
that Poppy exists.
I mean, in all
Hi,
fairness,
Poppy!
Niu is very short for a Dragonborn.
Yeah, but you're still taller than Petra.
Yeah, we're all medium size.
Yeah, most people are taller than Petra.
Yes.
Most halflings are taller than Petra.
We had a dwarf that was taller than you.
Well, that would make sense.
No.
Okay, we could base the name off of probably the only real accomplishment we've had so far since this ragtag band of people has come together and involve the wolves somehow. Just as a little throwback to the start of this weird adventure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could work. That could work.
Fundinian pot.
No, we're not going to call it Indians. I'm trying to make it a thing.
How about the Wolf Talon Company?
Do wolves have talons?
No,
No.
birds do. Raptors do.
Yes. That's what
Where
I'm
did-
trying to tie into.
Where do the talons come from?
Because of the Petra Yeah, Petra, because she's the one with the little, talons around her neck and teeth and shit.
True. It's because these T-Rexes are those really considered talents? I guess they are.
Well,
They've been more.
she's gonna want talons at some point, so
Yeah.
This is a suggestion.
What'd you do for your 4 hours? I tried to figure out a name for our game crew.
Don't even have any names because that's what we were meant to have done this whole week.
Yeah, I gave you two. You didn't like them. You pick. You decide. You're the picky one.
I'm not just
Picky,
a
picky, picky.
one.
I mean, I had some names, but they were all based in Celestial, and none of them really worked out well.
Two guys in a trading wagon.
Right. Let's see.
Your mute button does a very loud click.
Me?
Yes, you.
Sorry, I'll figure that out. Don't know why.
Sassily click it on and off.
My apologies.
Doesn't bother me all that much.
The merchants who say me.
I got that reference.
Good job, Captain America.
I got that reference too.
Uh,
The Loss of Variety Ventures.
the loss of variety? So we don't have much variety? Okay.
Oh, we have lots of variety.
Oh, you just said the loss of variety.
The loss of variety. As in
I don't know.
Velociraptor.
Who's this Fig guy, and why did he lose his variety?
That's it. Petra eats the half orc.
Roll for initiative.
I'm just going on a random generator and I'll just read some out.
I would
that's-
say
this-
we could
this
try
is
and do
bad.
something with the names of the group.
That's right. Take the
But-
first character of each person's name, and
Yeah,
then we'll...
we only have one vowel in that situation.
Which is
I thought about that. That's fucking Amaranth's.
You're
Fucking-
welcome.
So we
Change
have
that vowel.
we'd have P, T, W, R, N, and A.
That's perfect name. You just put it in your hand.
How about the Wolf Sentinels?
Wait.
There we go. It's good enough.
P.
I like
See,
that.
that's more like a That sounds more of a mercenary group than a merchant group. I don't really care.
Or the Wolf Sentinel
Hold
Company.
on.
There you go.
That way it could be anything, really.
WSC.
R.
Yeah.
W.
We could blame this whole shit on the Rose Captain and call it the
Every rose has its
Wolf's
thorn.
Rose Company.
Appetite for Destruction. Brown-Eyed Girl.
Defile, you thought you had to plan a whole session to see.
And if I was like, Jesus Christ, I spent a week doing all this, and we're gonna spend all day just scaring my fucking.
Me, I'm
Like I
fine
could have taken my nap anyways. No, they would have never noticed.
I'm fine
Well,
with
she is
Wolf.
asleep at the moment.
Exactly. I'm just over here cleaning my nails. Like,
I'll figure it out eventually, maybe.
I'm happy with the Wolf Sentinel Company because we're just wasting time.
That's our logo, the Wolf Sentinel Company. When you're just wasting time. Okay, let's put that app in.
is that the name you guys are gonna go with?
Yes.
Sounds fine to me.
I'm not hearing any arguments against, so we will say
Apathy for the win! Yay!
Okay, so I'm assuming at least somebody went to go get the application, right? So you guys know what
Yeah,
you're
I
filling
did.
out?
Yeah, Amaranth
Okay.
did, of course.
Okay. Then
Did
Did
everybody
everybody
get
bring
it
the
all?
application back with her when she came to ask the group about a name?
Okay, so you should all see a form on your screen?
I see a form on the screen, yes.
That's the
Wow, look at that.
application. You need to decide how you're going to fill it out and what you're actually applying for.
I don't know what many of these things are.
That's fine, I can explain them. Because there is a pamphlet that comes with the application that explains all of these, so don't worry, I've got you covered. Basically, the way that it explains it is statically located mercantile permit is a permit to open up a shop within the Ruby conglomerate's territory.
That's
that
out
shop,
immediately off the table.
yeah, that shop cannot move. It is a statically located shop. Next, you have the domestically transient mercantile permit and travel pass. This allows you to travel within whatever nation you apply for your mercantile pass. And it
Off
allows
the
you
table
to-
because we're traveling through nations.
Exactly. Then you have the conglomerational transient mercantile permit and travel pass. This allows you to travel to all nations within the Ruby conglomerate, which is all
Okay,
the
next.
west side. Yep,
Yeah.
that one
We-
won't work for you.
Won't work for us either.
From here on is what will work for you. So there is the Continental Transient Mercantile Permit and Silver Travel Pass. And then there's the Continental Transient Mercantile Permit and Gold Travel Pass. If you
What's the-
take the cheaper one, the 120 gold, you get the Silver Travel Pass, and you can travel anywhere on the continent. And the Silver Travel Pass entitles you to go through pretty much any border. The Gold Travel Pass allows you to bypass any lines if there are already merchants and things being searched by the guard. You get to go to the front of that line. Otherwise, you may end up having to wait at certain border crossings. Essentially, it's an express lane ticket. Then you have the Intercontinental Transient Mercantile Permit, which is
There's
to
other
go
continent?
to the entire world, so to speak. And obviously, those come with silver or gold travel passes.
So the question is, do we feel like we're going to need to go to another continent?
No.
Not at this point. I mean,
Do we want to just cover our bases and get it anyway so we don't have to upgrade later? Can we even upgrade later? Would it cost us the same potentially 450 gold?
You would
Again?
have to pay the entire application fee again.
Right.
I'm fine just getting the Continental, not the Intercontinental.
right, I mean,
At
we
that
have
point,
5
we're
liches in this country, that our continent, that we have to take care of first.
Exactly.
They want us go. If they want us to cross a bard, bard.
Mm-hmm.
If they want us to go abroad, then we're going to ask for money up front.
Exactly.
That's fair.
Big one.
In that case, I personally think it would be beneficial for us to get the gold travel pass because A, we don't know how busy these checkpoints are going to be that we have to travel through. And B, if there's a lot of merchants waiting in line, that could potentially suck up a lot of time.
Yeah, and having a gold travel pass could actually get us a little bit of better reputation as a traveling company.
That
Or
too.
make us a bigger target. But yes.
That too.
Well, if somebody wants to attack us, they don't know that we're not truly a mercantile company,
And more money.
and we would just blast the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
I
and
mean-
money.
Yeah, just like we did
We
that
are
necromancer and
called-
that hill giant.
We are
Yeah.
called the Wolf Sentinel Company.
Hmm.
So I don't think people would immediately want to mess with us.
Exactly.
Yes, we tempt fate right now. No, nobody's going to. There are no viruses on Macintosh.
All right, everybody,
Okay.
roll initiative.
This also
You're
asks for wares and specialties, which we will have to figure out.
Specialties
desired-
is protecting people.
No, that would not make us a mercantile. That'd make them mercs. So speaking of which, that's what we should have thought. If we have merc licenses. Oh well, never mind. Let's see. I guess the best we have is
Books.
books and food.
Books and food.
Could healing be considered a sellable service? Because
Well, anything's a sellable service. I mean, you look at the world's oldest profession.
we could definitely add like that on. We have several people in the group that can heal if need be, and several that know medicine if need be.
Those are the same people.
I mean, no, because I can't heal, but I know medicine.
And I can't do either.
Or we can do what I said and pick up rags and sell them to poor people.
There we go. That's much better.
Right.
No, we have to take the rags from the poor people, clean
then
them
sell
up,
it
and then sell
yeah.
them back.
Yeah.
No, we sell
At a
the,
markup.
we sell the bags, the rags to the carriage garage so they can wipe their hands off all the grease.
Ah, yeah, we can just take the rags, go to the people, and be like, "Hey, these are like super high quality. Like you want these. Like these will soak up all of the oil and grease and shit that you have over there,
Literally.
and it is 100% durable, and it will last you for almost ever."
Okay.
Okay, I think we're
let's-
overthinking this.
Focus, guys. Focus.
You're falling into my trap.
One other thing I would note on this. It does say head merchant's name if desired. I actually agree with Petra on this one, but for a reason.
No, if
Because-
different.
Huh?
If different, not if desired.
Oh, if different. Oh, if different.
Yeah, because there's
If
an
desired- if
applicant's
desired,
name,
yeah.
and then if it's different than the person
Oh.
applying, then you have
Well,
to put the name.
Still, I actually agree with Petra on this one, but for a reason. Because at the bottom it says endorsements. She has that coin she was given. We could technically say they endorsed us if Petra's the head merchant. And that might also generate us some clout, especially within the Ruby conglomerate, who is apparently familiar with that family.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Petra just looks at everybody.
Congratulations, Petra. You're now in charge.
Yay!
Well done, Short
She's-
One. You're in charge.
She just throws her fists in the air and just shouts, "Yay!"
Where are we going, Short One?
If that's the case, I would like wages, please. I want to get paid for this, thank you.
We don't have any tiefling meat, damn it.
Oh, get wrecked.
She's gonna pay you.
I'll just use dragon meat, that's not a problem.
She's
Any
gonna.
difference.
She's gonna pay you 100% more than what she was paying you before.
Which is nothing.
Exactly.
Very good.
You get 100% raise.
Gaming.
You know what?
Right.
Feeling generous today? 300%.
Oh, I'm worth it. Anyways, before
Employee of the month.
do I get a break with that?
You get a ride on a horse.
They get
Yeah.
50%
I
off
pay
all
for it.
rags.
You get a free
50% off.
vacation.
Yeah,
Well, if this is a
A
vacation.
fr- a
I'd
free-
rather
a
jump
free
in
vacation to, fight another lich.
I'd rather just jump in a T-Rex's mouth if that's the case.
Been
I
there,
know where
done
you can
that.
fi-
That
yeah.
was fun.
Anywho, before we go down this massive tangent, we're saying that where's a literature and food
And healing.
And
and
rags.
healing.
And potentially, are there any other services we could add to this?
We don't want to have so many services. We want to keep it basic.
Well, it does say wares and specialties. So,
Petra looks
Yeah.
around and says, "Let's go get cookbooks."
We don't need cookbooks. We have a cook.
No. So we can sell them.
So in the pamphlet that you guys picked up, it does have a section on wares and specialties. The section on wares and specialties says that you don't have to claim all of your merchandise or all branches of mercantile that you work with, just your main product. So for example, if you deal in antiquities, but you also sell, horses and jewelry, as long as you claim some general idea of what your mainstay will be.
can we put down murder as our primary ware?
No.
You certainly can.
We're not murderers because it's always in self-defense.
We're murderers.
Yes, that's what you
No,
said.
only you, Petra.
That's just you.
Because your feet fit. Anyways,
We should just be like, I guess, traveling salesmen because that's what we're going to be doing more of the
oh,
cases.
so we sell traveling salesmen. Okay. Feminine hygiene products. That way, nobody will ever ask.
I actually think it would probably be beneficial for us to just put down, like, Arcana or something like that. Basically, magical shit.
Yeah, magical. There's like what 1, 2, 3, 4 of us
A lot
that
of
deal
us.
with magic. So yeah, just
Yeah, so shovels and Arcana.
We
Rags
can
and
do.
Arcana.
We can do food.
Yeah, we never make a profit.
Back in my hometown, there's
Back
like a
in St.
bunch of, like-
Olaf.
Shush. There was like a bunch of people who were like traveling around with food, and it was really good.
They weren't traveling. They were just running from the other people trying to eat their food.
They were just running from Petra, actually.
Yeah.
All of them.
Petra's actually an anomaly. The barbarians at her hometown are actually very peckish.
so I put
Not-
food and magic, and
Peckish
then
is an
that's the
understatement.
necessities.
That's why it's always out of my way, Peck.
Okay, so you said food and magic or food and arcana?
Arcana. Let's put Arcana.
Petra. The name of the family that the coin belonged to.
Ironwoods.
Throw that at the bottom.
What was the name that you said?
Ironwoods.
Okay.
Now I actually remember it because I put 2 and 2 together. Petra's last name and that last name. Boulderwoods, Ironwoods. 2 different kinds of rocks.
Yep. Okay, so you've picked your license, your business name. Who's actually filing the application?
Amaranth.
Okay, so Amaranth's name will go on the application. Then, for your head merchant, you've got Petra.
Yes.
Petra Boulderwoods. And
Yes.
then wares and specialties, we are going with food and arcana. And then for endorsements, you're putting the Ironwoods, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, wait. Do we want to actually put the iron? I think it's a potentially a good idea to put the Ironwoods. That's the whole reason for having Petra listed as a thing. But what if the Ruby conglomerate contacts them? They're like, who the fuck is... I would hope that they recognize Petra's name. Never mind.
No doubt, we just do.
Good discussion.
Listen,
It's easier to ask for
I had to
forgiveness than ask
analyze for a
permission.
second.
It's a big decision. This could impact the rest of your game.
The rest of your lives. You've been drawn and quartered. Good game.
I'll just write my name.
You've been bit by a rattlesnake. You've died on the Oregon Trail.
Aquaman has drowned on the Oregon Trail.
I never played the Oregon Trail. Oregon Trail. We never had that.
So
Oh. There's actually an Oregon Trail as well. So
Yes.
then there is the matter of the fee too.
Oh, you said you were going to pay for it, so
Nah, fam.
you're
I
looking
never
for
said
money.
that.
My money.
I don't
Which
even know
one
how
are
much
we-
money I have.
Which one are we doing? What's going
I
on?
believe that the fee
Gold-
is what
gold
you gave
continental.
the diamond for.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So the
Right.
fee is covered by that diamond, assuming you guys managed to sell it somewhere.
Yes, the
I mean,
Yeah,
that
that's like
diamond
that
was
diamond. I don't
what,
remember what you're talking
800 gold. At that point, we might as well splurge and get the intercontinental gold pass.
yeah, because we won't need gold for anything else. Amaranth has gone mysteriously silent. I don't know what diamond you're talking about. No, no.
I don't have a diamond and I don't have no money, so don't be looking at me. I spent all
should.
my
You
money.
should have a
Okay.
diamond because Windsor gave you his.
Oh, yes, I'll just give them the diamond. Sorry.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
right
do
there,
that.
the
We
very
should
bottom of your
definitely-
inventory.
there it is.
Diamond.
I wouldn't just give them the diamond. That diamond was 860 gold. We only need 250.
That's the appraised value. That doesn't necessarily mean you'll get that value.
Right.
So now I need to go to a jeweler's to get it appraised.
Wait.
So then I can get
What?
800.
What's going on?
Gold.
Petra's just kind of like behind everybody.
Well, it's either that
Confused.
or you can just pay it out of your own pocket.
I have
Uh,
36 gold.
I was gonna say after those
There's a
books
street
she bought,
corner.
she doesn't have that.
Well, somebody other than me should go have it appraised.
Petra climbs up
Why
onto
other
New's
than
shoulder.
you?
Half orc.
You've had it
Grr,
appraised.
grr. Okay, somebody. Well, yeah.
Well, we
Somebody
didn't
should have
have
it
them
sell it.
appraised. They were given to us appraised, but
No, we
yeah.
found them. Yeah, whatever. We found them. They had stickers on them.
Yeah.
Dwarvish handwriting. Okay, Toby, go sell it.
Why am I selling it?
Because you're human.
Ah, this is a
Wink,
good
wink,
point.
nudge, nudge. Say no more.
Yeah, that's probably the good idea. They'll probably be salty at me and Amaranth.
Can someone else go with him though? Because he has the
Sticky
emotional
fingers?
intelligence of a fish.
You can
Excuse
go
me?
with him.
I have perfect intelligence. I'm more intelligent than you are.
I
What
said
does that-
emotional intelligence, honey.
what does that have to do
emotional
with it?
intelligence.
That has to do with anything.
And you shut up. Go do whatever to do.
You talking to us or somebody else?
Yes.
Okay. There you go. Head of the company just said so.
You heard the boss.
She ain't no boss. She's just short.
Yeah, my brother. Oh, wait.
Okay, so where's this diamond then?
Amaranth
Amaranth has it.
I will hand you the diamond.
Okay,
Okay,
I am
so
handing you
pass
the
the
diamond.
diamond.
I am.
yeah, pass the diamond to me.
Okay. Let me just.
Amaranth goes, gets some
Here's-
laxatives, and then she passes the diamond.
All right. Do you have the diamond now?
Sweet.
I assume you're immediately going to go look for somewhere to sell it.
He
Anywhere
runs
in
off.
particular?
Never seen from again.
Well, probably the trade district will probably be one of the best places to go and obviously take it
I think
to.
we're already in the trade district.
Yeah, you guys are in the trade district.
Oh, cool.
Mainly because this building here is the place where you actually apply. So
okay.
that's kind of where you guys have all gathered around, is that general area.
Well,
So you
I'll-
are in that district.
I'll ask the gentleman behind the desk if it was best to go sell some of our more valuable wares.
And so he kind of looks up from the desk, looks back down, rifles through some things, pulls up a little sheet, kind of wipes it off because it's gotten dusty from sitting there. And go, here you go. Hands it to you, and you can see that there's several shops listed on there. There's one that is an alchemy shop. There is one that is an herbalist shop. There is the bookstore that you went to, and there is a jeweler on the other side of town, and then there's a meat market.
I'll go to the jeweler, the other side of town.
Really, I
Okay.
thought the meat market would have been a better one. But okay.
I know, I was tempted to, but I'm just going to send Amaranth though.
You know what? I will just eat people if that's what people want me to do. I'll just do it. I don't care.
Petra will eat you back.
Who said I want to
Well,
eat you?
I want to record this.
Yeah, well, I thought you already were.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? We're good. The recording is going. So, but yeah. So you go to the shop on the other side of town. Obviously, it's going to take a little while to get there.
Yep.
So
I
I'll
don't
pass
know if
the.
anyone wants to come with me, but
I'll come with you.
okay.
The one that trusts you the most should go with you.
But yeah, so you head over near the edge of town. There is this building down here,
Okay.
right
Yeah.
there. So you go in there. There is an elderly gentleman sitting behind the counter. He looks up to see which he quickly identifies as an artificer because he's familiar with the many tools and gadgets that you carry.
Oh yeah.
So he kind of just waves you in and welcoming you over to the counter. And in kind of a bit of a gruff old man voice, but also still somehow sounding a little bit warm, he's like, "Yeah, how can I help you?"
I don't sound anything like that.
Oh, my bad.
Um,
I'm sorry.
Hey, how can I help
Played
you?
by Torin. Go. No.
How can I help you, boy?
There you go. See?
Got this diamond our company needs to turn into a coin. What would you give me for it?
And he holds his hand out while like sifting through a
Okay.
drawer trying to find his little eyeglass.
I'll give him the diamond.
Okay, so as you hand over the diamond, he pulls out his little eyeglass and he starts looking at it and inspecting it. And he sets it down and he goes, "Well, I could sell that for 800. That being said, I have to make a profit.
I appreciate that.
I give you 650.
As you can tell from the person behind me, I don't think our company would be too happy with that.
He nods a little bit and looks it over. Well, best I could probably do. I'd say I could go up to 700.
700 is a fair deal.
Make it 750 and we have a deal.
He kind of looks between, he looks between Toby and Amaranth, then back to Toby. He goes, "Your woman's got a loud mouth."
Oh,
690.
That's not my woman. She's just.
And I would
someone
never
who I
want
have
this
to
man
work
in my
with.
life, so please. 800.
I'm going to turn around and look at Amaranth and go, "Can you just stand outside, please?"
No, you're bad at dealing. 800.
Can you just ignore her? Just go
800.
stand outside.
Petra,
Go stand outside.
The only reason
Petra
had
is
followed
because you're
them.
a human. That's the only reason.
Petra-
Go
He-
stand outside.
He reaches
Petra-
into a drawer next to him and he pulls out a stack of coins. And you see him partition off. He's got these rolls of 100 gold that he keeps. And you can see he sets 6 of those off to the side, cracks one in half and sets it off to the side and he goes, 650.
As I said, sir, not to demean your intelligence. Unfortunately, this lady is a little bit more hot-headed, as you can imagine. She can be rude at times. I've been told I have been occasionally. But could you please just ignore her this once, and we'll just take the 700 and be happy with it?
He looks between the two of you, quite amused by how irritated Amaranth is. And he kind of chuckles a bit, and then he sets down the other half of the roll that he cracked, and he goes, "Fine, 700. And he pushes it over towards the edge of the desk and takes the diamond, and he looks it back over with the eyeglass, just double checking his appraisal, making sure he actually bought goods that he thinks he bought before
Yeah.
tucking it off to the side. He goes, "You need anything else?"
Yeah, I do actually, funnily enough. Have you got
Oh.
any sort of spyglass material?
I don't know what material you would need to build a spyglass. Can you give me an idea of what you're looking for?
Like magnification glasses, because you'd need lenses.
Okay, so
Not
lenses.
Yeah, lenses. So
Uh,
possibly he might have.
He does
lenses.
not have them.
Okay, fair enough. It's not a problem.
I rolled for it. He does not have them.
That's fine. Well, I'll just this will be fine then, sir.
He kind of tips his head to you and then goes back to working on the things that he was working on before you came in.
I'll pick up the coin. And
Okay.
just put it into a purse and walk out past
Okay.
Amaranth.
Who almost cost you 50 gold? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to help you. You made it worse by
The whole
detriment to
being outside at this point. The whole reason I was sent here is because I was the human. They clearly don't, unfortunately, like you. So you can be as cunning and as guile as you like.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
Racist be racist. Also,
It's
Bex,
racist
your
tickets.
mic's not on.
Just give me the money. I'm not here to have a conversation with you. Just give me the money.
Why are you upset with me?
I'm not upset with you. I'm saying give
Yes,
me the
you are.
fucking money.
She's
Yeah,
not
you're
upset. She's greedy. There's a difference, obviously.
I'm doing the application.
Petra will be walking around looking for food.
There you go. That's the 700.
I don't need a human to be telling me what people like and don't like about me. Is that all right with you? I will walk off with the money and put the application in.
Okay, so you go back to the Ruby Conglomerate building and you go file the application?
Yep.
Okay, so they take your application and you see them stamp some things. They look it over, they pull up this big book, flip it open, and they start looking through for the different names and stuff, and they're making sure that you guys aren't blackballed anywhere or anything like that. And then they come across the name Ironwoods on the bottom, and you can see that they stop for a moment, and then the person behind the desk kind of looks up over their glasses, almost like eyeballing you, as if appraising you as people to see if it was believable that the Ironwoods would actually endorse this ragtag crew. And so she looks at the name, and then she looks at you and she goes, you said the Ironwoods. That's not what she
Yep.
sounds like. Why am I sounding?
Where's Petra?
Hold on. Give me 1 sec. You said the Ironwoods sent you? You're endorsed by the Ironwoods.
Yes, the merchant boss rescued them from a carriage gone wide with a horse. So yes.
She nods and she says, okay, and where's your seal?
I look at Petra.
Petra went to go find food.
Yeah.
Ah, even better.
I will go find Petra.
Go find Petra. Sorry, our boss, apparently.
I will go search for Petra.
So she leans back in her seat and kind of crosses her arms. At this point, fully convinced that you guys are lying through your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So where my cursor is where Petra is right now.
If you hold down the left click long enough, it should ping, make it a little more obvious.
Petra's here.
That's it. We're getting a bell for her.
Right, well,
You can always tell when she finds food by the jingle. It just goes jingle, 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 and then she smells
need
food.
to roll,
Jiggle,
like-
jiggle, jiggle, jiggle.
investigation or some shit to find her.
Yeah, you will need to first. How are you looking for her? Are you asking around, or are you like looking for tracks in the street?
I'm just going to head down the street looking for her and assume she's looking for food establishments. So any food establishment I see, I will actively check into.
Okay, perception roll.
Perception. Negative 27.
Okay, you walk south.
Wait for Petra.
Yep. You head the exact opposite direction. You go, I smell something good this way, and you start walking towards the livestock.
Speciesist. Just because I'm dragon.
Who else is gonna look for Petra?
Alright. I'll just keep looking.
Okay. So you continue to look, you get to the end there, and you're like, wait a minute, there aren't any restaurants here? And you turn and you look around, and you realize that the wind was blowing the scent through the buildings, and that's why you got confused. So you turn around and you start walking back the other direction. It does take you about an hour, but eventually you do find
damn.
Petra.
Petra. We need you and your coin. They don't believe us that we know the Ironwoods.
Sorry, I went and got food.
Yeah, I figured.
We also need some for the road.
I'm pretty sure Toby handled that at the general store
Yes.
Oh,
before we got sidetracked by figuring out the mercantile license.
okay. And then Petra will, follow New to wherever New takes her.
Okay.
We head back.
Yep, so you head back. It's a lot faster to get back there because you didn't walk the wrong direction this time. So you get back, you walk in. Most everybody's around the counter at this point, and the clerk sitting behind the desk is clearly a little agitated that she's had to sit here for so long waiting on this seal that she's pretty sure isn't coming.
I found Petra. Petra, please provide the seal for this fine lady to show her that we are affiliated with the Ironwoods.
Petra nods and pulls out the coin
And she
and holds it up.
She reaches out to like take the coin. Are you gonna try and stop her, or does she let her?
She lets her.
Okay, yeah, so she reaches out and she takes the coin and she puts it in this little device. And it looks like almost like a clamshell. And she sets it down and she closes the top of it, and the top has this glass. And you can see it creates this holographic image inside of it, inside of the little glass there. And this holographic image is almost like a puzzle cube. And it starts almost deciphering visually in front of you, and then it just turns into a nice square and turns bright green, indicating that it was an authentic seal. And she looks very surprised at this point. She figured that you guys went off to like make some sort of fake seal or something. So she's very surprised, and she quickly opens it up and she hands the coin back to you, and she's much more polite now, and she goes, "My apologies. I did not realize that you were actually with the Ironwoods." And then she quickly gathers up her paperwork and she goes, "I'll get this taken care of." Gets up, she runs out of the room, goes through a door in the back, and you see her manager poke his head around the corner and kind of look at you, and then he disappears again. It takes about 15 minutes, and then they come out, and you can see they've got a already printed out hard plate that has the name, which is the Wolf Sentinel Company, just like magically engraved into a card. And then on the back, it lists all of the details that you guys filled out, including that the pass that you applied for, which I believe you guys said the gold, yes?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so it even says, that you have the gold travel permit. And then she just hands it over to you, and she says, "It's been a pleasure doing business with you, and stop by anytime you need."
All right, let's go.
Right, so who's taking this card?
Petra will grab the card.
Makes sense.
We can't hear you.
I know that! It's a card!
Yeah, but not being funny, Petra. When we needed you like half an hour ago, you're off getting food again. You're probably not the best
Because I
person
was
to have
hungry.
the card.
Hence why I was going to have the card, because I put the application
Give
in.
it to Amaris, you little one.
No.
No, I think it's best that Petra keeps it.
Really? Why?
Because
wander off again.
supposedly she's the head merchant. It would make sense that the head merchant have it. If we
Yeah,
get
as
to,
long as she doesn't
or a
wander off
primary
looking hungry.
assistant, which would be appointed by the head merchant. So
you do realise
unless
this isn't actually what it is. It's just so that we can get through places.
Yeah, I know. It's basically a card so we can get through places. But if she wanders off because, oh, she likes the smell of something, and we need to get through somewhere, and we go, oh, where's Petra gone again?
and we
That's
put a
fine, if we
leash on
wanna
her,
have-
no.
Unless I need to put a leash on you, do I? Looking at Petra.
I don't care.
You want me to hang on to it, Petra?
Yes.
So that they can be appeased? Alright.
Yes. Because they're gonna ride on the same horse, so.
Makes sense.
That's fine. Raynor's at least responsible for it.
I mean, As long as you keep Petra fed, she won't have to wander around and look for food.
There's no such
Just
thing as
saying.
keeping Petra fed.
That's true.
As soon as you smell something, you go away and look for it. Without telling anyone where you've gone, haven't you?
As long as you keep the world from turning, you'll be fine.
As long as you are the only people that have food, you're fine.
That's an inane statement, really, isn't it?
Okay, so you've decided that it's going to be New that carries the card?
Apparently.
Yeah, fine. New can carry the gun. I don't mind New or Raynor or Amarith, really. Any one of
Okay.
the three.
Alright, so what's the plan at this point? You now have your mercantile license and gold travel pass.
Do I need to like drop this card into my inventory, or are you gonna drop something into my inventory?
You can create the item.
New loot.
Okay, well, we should start heading off.
So as you turn to walk out of the room, the person that was behind the counter comes running out breathlessly, and she tries to stop you real quick. And she goes, "Sorry, I forgot to give you this." And she hands over a rather thick book, and on the outside, it essentially is a legal speech name for what boils down to the Ruby Conglomerate rules and conduct. Essentially, your handbook for not getting in trouble with the people you applied for.
I'll take the book, seeing as
Okay.
that I will probably be the one that has to read through it.
Okay,
Also,
which makes
how the
sense.
heck
It's your character.
How the heck do you have to spell, or how the heck do you spell Sentinel so I don't fuck this up?
CEN.
No.
Oh, could have been.
It could have been. It's SEN.
There you go. I put it in D&D.
There you go. Yeah, that works.
T-I-N-E-L.
Yep.
That's what I had.
Okay. And you notice that when she hands you the book, there is a little bookmarked page. And she points out that that bookmark is rather important if you guys plan on leaving the country headed east. And then with that, she again thanks you for your service, thanks you for your patronage, and goes back to her counter.
Paid 250 gold for this thing.
Yes, you did.
I'm just gonna name it the Wolf Sentinel Mercantile Permit and Gold Travel
It's just
Pass.
Wolf Sentinel Company.
Okay, you now have your mercantile license and your travel pass. You also have the rules and conduct for the Ruby Conglomerate merchants. What's next?
Well, we were gonna wait till the next morning to head out. Unless anybody needs to prepare more, I personally would like to go back to that bookshop. But yeah.
Now let me see if we can find a place to sleep first.
Alright, it's 5 o'clock in the evening.
Is there like a smith around here at all?
There doesn't seem to be any sort of talented smith. The only smith that you've seen so far is basically a glorified garden tool repairsman.
I mean, that's fine. I only really want the metal, to be honest with you.
Okay, then in that case, there is a building that is right here. This kind of gray, dingy one. It's got this curved area going off to the side with a forge, the anvil's in there and everything, under an open cover.
Yeah, I'll just head up over there.
Okay. What metals are you looking for, and how much?
I'm looking for sort of iron, steel, just a couple of like pipes and tubing, just so I can start use with my firearms book.
Okay.
Fashioning them with them.
Okay. So you go over there and you go check out the shop. The smith himself is in the back working. You can hear him hammering away. But you see off to one side, he's got his raw materials. Usually the raw materials are there so that you can pick what you want your weapons made out of. But he also does sell them by carry weight.
Yeah.
And you notice that he has the metal tubing that you need.
Yeah.
And he has steel ingots.
Yeah, I'll do.
Okay. So the steel ingots are 2 gold each.
Cool.
And the metal tubing, he has iron tubing for 50 silver. Or, sorry, 5 silver each. And then he has steel tubing for 1 gold each.
I'll get.
You forgot the S at the end of her her last name.
Oh, it's
You-
Boulderwoods?
I'll take
Sorry,
2 iron ingots and 2 tubings for the 1 gold.
Okay. Go ahead and take that from your inventory.
So that'd be 4, 5, 6 gold.
I assumed when you
I like-
said like Boulderwoods, you were just pluralizing the name.
No.
Like,
I'll thank him and head back to the tavern,
Okay.
Horseshoe Tavern.
So you're going to the tavern, I'm assuming to
Yeah.
rest for the night. Is everybody else going to the tavern?
Yeah.
unless
Petra's-
it's only 5, I want to fuck off to the bookstore again.
Okay, so New goes back to the bookstore.
If you're gonna go to the bookstore, can I take the handbook and I can read it while you're, and then I can give it back to you in the evening when you're back?
That's fine. I will still need to read it, but I don't mind letting you read it.
Well, we all need to read it. It's all good to read it. But you're
Well, I
going off-
mean, I assume some of us won't read it, and we'll need to have it summarized by those of us that do.
yes, as I say, if you're going off to the bookstore, then it could give me time to read it.
The moment you start trying to explain any of the book stuff to Petra, she'll just space off.
That's why you have an assistant.
Well, that's why you can be the assistant then. If I won't take the book, you can keep the book. I'll just go back to the end.
You is the head assistant. Petra says that. It's canon now. But no, Petra will go to the Horseshoe Tavern and see if she can get a room for everybody.
Okay. So everybody that goes to the Horseshoe Tavern, the dude's there. He's still being fairly gruff, but not as bad as when you first got here. He does rent you the room for the same price as before, which I believe was 5 gold for the night.
Yep.
So he rents you the room for 5 gold a night. You guys will have a room to sleep in. I imagine you're pushing a door against, or you're pushing a stool against the door again.
We're propping Amaranth against the door and New against the window.
Makes sense.
Yep. Petra's ready to throw bodies out the
Right,
window.
so
when need
New's
be.
going to the bookstore. How long is she going to be at the bookstore, and what's she doing there?
Just for a couple hours, and she's gonna be looking for a few other books that she's interested in now that she's not distracted with the shiny magic tome that she got.
Okay. Yeah, so she goes to the bookstore. I'm just going to do one roll real quick, see if you find anything of interest. 19. So you can pick one book subject, and you find a good book on that. So what's the subject that you're looking for?
Being that she has never really had a ton of interaction with people outside of like
Really?
this
We didn't
little
notice.
adventure that we've had, she's interested in learning about, you know, interactions and stuff. So a book on like socializing or something related to maybe like
She asked for a
like a-
book on social intercourse, but she stutters accidentally.
like maybe like a book that I don't know a bard would use to learn their trade and learn how to, you know, interact with people and
So like a self-help charismatic book.
yeah.
Okay. So we'll
Damn
say
it.
that you
Oh, what?
found a good book that talks about the psychology of social interactions and things like that. It's a very like scientific type of extrapolation of data on the topic, which is perfect for New. She'll understand it very well. And it's only 5 gold.
Let's go.
So she's
Take
able to buy that. You can name the book whatever you like, put it in your inventory, and you will have that. And we will say that as long as you read it a set amount of times for long rests, you will get a charisma point for that. But you have to specifically tell me that you read your book during the long rest, and I will
she got
keep a
time?
tally of that for you.
She got tone?
Yeah, she bought a book.
Well, she
Yeah.
got tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the timer. Wow, they have them there? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's by some guy named Fraud. I don't know.
Uh,
It's by Topsy Kretz. Don't know if anybody will get that.
I mean, I did think about a time like that, but then I thought, no, because I know how expensive they can be.
Petra looks at Raynor. You hungry?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he speaks.
I've been mostly listening because I'm lightheaded.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Like I said before, if you're not feeling up to it, just being here is plenty for everybody.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
Our
then,
cleric's under the
so-
weather. If only we had a cleric.
Yeah, if only somebody could heal him. Yeah.
no, Petra will get Raynor some food. Make sure
Okay.
he's okay.
What, Mom?
Alright, so that being said, I imagine everybody's going to be sleeping now, correct?
Pretty much.
Yep.
Okay. So it is now the 16th day of Eliasis.
New's gonna read her book before she goes to bed.
I'm gonna do
Okay.
a long rest, because why not? Because it's a
Yeah,
new
everybody should be able to do a long rest.
I gain 2 hit points.
Take damage from.
Oh, the guard smacking me in the back of the head. Well,
Yeah,
when
she
they
wasn't
were taking our
listening.
names.
That's right.
Yeah, she wasn't listening, got smacked up in the back of the head. Yeah. Okay, so it's early morning. You all awaken refreshed. Does anybody use the morning long rest to do anything, change anything about their class or anything like that?
I change up my melodies and whittle. Oh wait, wrong character. Type.
day.
No, my armor's gonna be staying the same. My armor model's gonna be the Guardian still.
Okay. In that case, it's now morning. You're all good to go. Where do you go from here?
Petra's immediately gonna look for food.
As usual.
Shock horror.
Not a very inventive name, but there we go.
So I imagine she's just gonna go downstairs to the actual front end
Yep.
of the tavern and just get something to eat.
Yep.
Go ahead and just mark off 5 gold for the cost
Oh Jesus!
and roll a
How
constitution.
much is she eating? Fucking hell!
According to the
Nice.
dice, 5 servings.
Oh Jesus! Okay.
She's hungry.
It's 93 before. 88. I think it is. Yeah, my math's correct. Okay. Here we go. Let's see if Petra dies.
No, that beats a 10. You're good.
Yep.
Okay. So what is everybody else doing? Breakfast has come. What's next?
Breakfast, getting ready to go.
Yeah, pretty much.
What is the people around the tavern's reaction to Petra eating so much food?
Well, for the most part, it's early morning, so a lot of people aren't there. But the few people that are there, at first, don't pay attention because she's just eating. That's perfectly fine. But they keep hearing more dishes clatter down on the table, So they keep looking over to see, like, maybe new people are sitting at the table, and they begin to get worried as they see these dishes piling up, almost as tall as the halfling herself. In fact, she probably would have kept eating if the waitress hadn't cut her off and been like, "Ma'am, it looks like you can barely move."
All right. You want to spread the rumor that the captain of the guards is poor because they were eaten into poverty by a random traveling barbarian?
Damn, he did you a solid. You trying to just fucking ruin him.
Well, I'll get down, sit on the table, and have a little bit of breakfast myself.
Okay. For everybody that's eating that it's not Petra, it's 1 gold for a meal.
New's gonna join Petra and eat a normal amount for a small dragon.
Petra will pay for New and Raynor's food.
Okay.
Because she's kind of like that.
Now, Amaranth, you read through the you read partially through the
I
rule
didn't,
book.
'cause I didn't.
Okay.
I left it with New.
Okay, so you didn't read through it? Okay. Good.
No.
Just wanted to check. So, at this point, I imagine you guys are going to get your horses, doing all that. Is that what you meant by preparing to leave?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or at least I did.
We'll say it takes an hour for breakfast and to ready your horses.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you need to do before you leave the town?
Commit another murder.
Maybe we should look for horse grooming supplies.
What?
Like brushes and stuff.
Can't we just cast
Keep 'em
mend on
pretty.
them if they get, like, damaged?
Unless
We have
they're
somebody
an
that knows mend, right?
Unless they're an
Yeah.
automaton horse, then yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, my horse has briars in its mane. Mend.
The briars grew. They're the whole plant now. There's a whole plant growing out of my horse's mane now.
Cool! New rare horse just dropped.
New horse skin just drops. Okay, so Petra's gonna go and
She's
look
gonna
to
ask-
see.
Yeah, she's gonna ask whoever sold the horses to them to see if there's any like brushes and stuff that she can get for them. She knows very little about horses, but she does know that they like being brushed.
And she's very much an animal person, so she'll probably just brush
Yes.
them out of boredom.
She knows very little about horses, but she owned a cat once, so.
The guy behind the counter laughs a little bit and points out that part of the tackle that you bought included a horse brush as well as a feed bag, and then also free horseshoes. Well, not free, but as part of the package, all the horses have fresh horseshoes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's part of the initial cost when you bought the bits and tackle. That comes with it.
Petra asks him to show her how to do the laces on the horseshoes.
Petra doesn't even use laces.
Petra's got
Just-
Velcro. No.
Alright. I also added the,
Petra just has a string that she wraps around her fucking boot.
What were you saying, Ian?
mercantile book to my inventory.
Okay.
I think I gave it a great name.
Ruby Conglomerate, Great Book of How to Merchant.
I like it. That works. All right. That's canon now. Good job. Good job. Okay, so the horses are all ready to go. You've got everything that you need. It's early morning. The sun's just started to peek up in the direction that you will be traveling. Do you head out?
Petra will try to get on the horse by herself.
Okay.
We-
I need an athletics check.
We should probably
just hops
consult
right
the
up
map
on.
super quick before we head out. It'd be good to have a general idea of where we're heckin' going.
West, east, north.
Amaranth!
Yeah,
Going to Amaranth?
Where's the map?
I have it on me. We looked at this. We looked at this yesterday.
Amaranth's not being a team
I
player.
need the map.
Why do you need the map?
Where did we go?
Here's the map. Should have guidance on that.
Petra will grab the map and like hand it to you, who's behind her, and grab the reins of the horse.
Yeah, yeah, doggy, yeah.
Damn, just stole the map and was like, all right, let's leave.
Pretty much, yeah. Just take my shit. So awesome.
I don't even know if I'm going to be able to read this map while on the horse.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I had this thought already. I'm like, will I be able to read a book while I'm on the horse?
Just again, do we have anyone who has survival checks? That might be a little bit more helpful than to just give it to the first person you think should have it. Like, we have Raynor and we have Tony or Toby. I get it, we're merchants, but let's think about smartly.
Maybe if they
Smartly
have
is not
these.
Petra's- You're talking about
Just-
smartly to Petra.
I don't
I
have
mean-
proficiency in survival, but I do have a base 13.
Yeah, but we are a group, so let's try and just have other people do things. So we can give the map to Toby and he can do it.
I mean, I'm okay with that. Toby's generally the one that does the survival shenanigans anyways. They know their way around stuff.
Well, Toby is
Alright.
trained in survival and has cartography skills, so I would like to think.
Yeah, he can make maps. He has no idea how to read them. No.
All right.
He's also the most
Amazing.
intelligent person here, so just saying.
I don't know, what's your intelligence score?
16.
Okay, you got me by 1.
Well then, shut up.
Listen, just because Petra has 8 intelligence doesn't mean she's stupid.
No, but by Toby standards, yes.
Well, since 10 is average intelligence,
Yeah, exactly. She's below
Alright.
average.
It's fine with everybody. I have no issue with letting Toby handle the map things.
yes, Toby, tell us where the nearest road is that leads to the place we're going.
Well, I'm going to spend 5 hours working out the map and turning it upside down and going, well, you can just follow that road there with the sign.
All right,
point."
5 hours. Let me just no. It's now noon, and he's still holding it upside down.
While he's doing that, Niu will tie a rope around his waist and to the back of the horse and just start dragging him along the thing as we leave.
Despite the fact he has a fucking horse.
He has his own horse. That's fine. We'll drag him anyway. I'm sure
Yeah, sure.
Amaranth is excited.
News becoming a lead horse.
Right, so Toby will look at the map, kind of look at what the judge of the roads and be like, right, fair enough. Who's obviously this road is going to head south, which is going to head out all the way out. So I'll just follow the roads, really.
Okay. Yep. Pretty straightforward. You follow the roads.
Yep.
In that case, let me pull up the road here.
I'll only really consult the map as and when we get to like forks in the road and things like that.
Yep, that makes the most sense. Okay.
I mean, we could always use the cutlery.
You can certainly try. Okay.
I'm meant to be the intelligent one.
So, off you go. You are on the road now. Is anybody reading the book that was dropped off as you travel?
I was going to say, if it's possible for me to do while on the horse, I wanted to read that book while we started off.
And Petra is holding the reins, so you have your hands free.
Yeah, you would have your hands free so long as you guys weren't galloping or anything. It should be fairly easy.
It's a nice little canter. Go for a trot.
That being said, I would say do an athletics check to see if you're able to just like naturally stay on the horse or if you actually have to focus on it.
Fucking 8. That was almost a 20.
Yeah, you're able to read. Not super effectively. You have to stop every moment, kind of steady yourself, but you're able to read while riding. It's a fairly easy thing to do. If you were on your own horse, that would be different, but... yeah, so you are able to read. are you starting with the chapter that she told you, or are you like reading through the whole thing?
Yeah. If the lady suggested a chapter, it would probably be best to start with that.
Okay. So when you start with that, the very first thing it tells you is traveling outside of the conglomeration, and then it tells you that the conglomeration is partnered with several other merchants guilds and conglomerates and organizations, and that if you're going to be traveling in their territory, you have to register your Ruby Conglomerate credentials with them to travel freely through their territory. And that, where you are currently heading, which obviously you're heading towards Fondinia, you have to go through the Kingdom of Puertia, which is where the end of the Ruby Conglomerate's influence is. So you actually need to stop off at the town of Lucitina before you can actually head through the rest of Puercia. Otherwise, once you got to the border, they would turn you around and say that your credentials aren't valid.
All that information is in the book, even the town name?
Even the town name.
Okay. Having read this, Niu will shout this at Toby, seeing as that he's the one with the map and determining the path, basically, and let him know we will have to do that before heading into the next country.
It's inside the next country.
It's inside the
the next country.
Yeah. So once you cross the border, and this is mostly to Toby here, once you cross the border, you will go about an hour down the road and come to a fork. There will be a fork that heads north, and then the branch that you're on where it just goes straight. You will need to head north for about another hour, and that's where Lucitina is.
That's cool. We'll head that way.
Okay. Before we do that, however...
Not a random encounter time.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it goes.
Motherfucking 2.
Hey, there's my 20 for the day. That's it.
You're
the rest of it will be ones now.
120.
Yeah, that's it. The rest of it will be ones now.
Okay.
Yeah, at least it was put to good use.
I'm rolling trash.
It asked me to roll, so I didn't roll.
Yeah, you're not part of the group yet.
That's why I exited out of the roll.
Okay. Yeah, so you reach the border with no problems. You get to the gatehouse, and you see that there is a line of merchants and caravans and things like that. It would probably take you a day to get through this line.
Heckin' gold pass paying off already.
Yeah, so you have the gold pass. So you see that there's two lines. There is the gold pass line and the silver pass line. The gold pass line has just a single merchant in front of you, and then the silver pass lane is backed up for what would almost be a mile. And,
all right.
And so you guys at first pull up and you're slightly confused, and you stop in the line and you're like, is this the line? Like, is there another line? Like, it said we can pass. So after a little bit of back and forth, you guys eventually decide to go forward, at which point you're stopped by a guard. But upon seeing that you have the gold pass, he then directs you to a lane off to the side.
I was going to say, you would present the thing to him and be like, we have
yeah,
a gold
almost
pass.
immediately. So I figured that would be the case. So I'm not trying to railroad you, but I'm also not trying to make this part last too long. But basically, the gold pass does manage to save you quite a bit of time here. And this is only your first border crossing, and you still have 2 more to get through. So, if nothing else, it's already saved you a day. You managed to get through. It only takes a few hours, which after all the travel time and everything, we'll say it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon when you finally make it through. And that being said, you make it through the guard gate. You give it an hour down the road, and you just hear a ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. And the noise is getting louder as it seems to be approaching down the road. Unfortunately, the road is a little bit curvy. It's not perfectly straight, so you can't really see past the trees. But this ka-chunking noise is getting much louder as you're going.
Does it sound like people in armor coming towards us?
It sounds like a single suit of armor.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
All right, Eldritch Blast.
because apparently that solves everything.
Guys,
Petra will
I'm
Petra
just
will look
gonna
at-
keep going forward.
Petra will look at everyone and say, "Get your horses into a single file line."
Yeah, I'm at the front of the line, so.
She gets into line.
Okay.
Carry on.
Alrighty then.
Alright, so as you continue on, the ka-chunking noise gets louder and louder, and eventually you realize that it sounds like metal smashing into the ground over and over and over again. And then you finally come around a corner where you can actually see down the road, and there is a massive, it appears to be construct or metal golem just walking in your direction. And over his shoulder, he's got the smallest little twig. It's almost about an inch thick, but about 20 feet long. And on the end of it, he has the tiniest little bundle, like those old time movies and images that you see where, running away with the sack on the stick over the shoulder kind of thing. Except for the sack is way too small for him. It literally would only fit about his pinky finger inside the sack. And he's just walking away with his tiny little stick over his shoulder, walking in your direction.
Has he got a dent in his head?
He does not have a dent in his head.
Damn it, not that one.
I know what you were trying to reference.
I'll just carry on walking to walk past him. I'll be looking at him very curiously, though.
Yep.
Petra will just look at him, nod, and continue on her way.
Okay. So he keeps just walking by. He doesn't even seem to register that you're there, but it becomes very apparent he's some sort of clockwork giant. But he just keeps on walking, probably not intelligent enough to directly interact with people, but he just keeps walking down the road, and the ka-chunking noise slowly gets quieter and quieter as he disappears. That being said, you eventually reach the fork in the road, and you either have to go left or straight.
Damn, I should have asked him if it was a nice day for fishing. Oh well.
Nice day for fishing, ain't it?
I hate you.
What's the map saying to where to go to?
So, if you were going to Lusatina, you would need to go north here, or you could go straight.
Well, we go north. We need to go to Lusatina.
Okay. So, you decide that you're going to do exactly as the book says. You're going to head to Lusatina. It takes you only about another hour or so, but you manage to reach Lusatina. And when you pull into town, you very quickly realize this is a big town. This isn't like a small place. This is a big, massive town. You roll in, and as you're coming up the main street, you immediately notice this massive Merchants Guild building right near the center of town.
that's probably where we need to go to register with this new thing. Let's go there.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
One thing is that you notice very quickly that there is a Mages Guild that you can see over the tops of some of the buildings off to one side.
Ah, yes.
And Windsor, as you go near where you find the Merchants Guild, you notice that you pass a monastery. It's obviously not the monastery that you were from, but there is a monastery here.
Once our business is concluded with the monastery or with the Merchants Guild, I'll go pay my respects.
Okay. So what's everybody going to be doing?
I,
pull up
at
to
the
license.
very least, probably need Petra to go register with this Merchants Guild.
Do you need all of us
Uh,
or just you and Petra?
That's a good question. It would probably be prudent just for all of us to go. I don't imagine it will take super long. And then they can't give us any flack for being like, oh, you're missing people.
Sounds fair enough. I presume that there's somewhere we can park horses by the Merchant Guild.
Yes, so there is a large stable around the backside. The Merchants Guild, by the way, is this big building here, and you can see that there is a stable area back here.
Yep, cool. Well, we're going to the stable area.
Okay, so you pull around the back of the Merchants Guild, go through a big gilded gate, and you pull in. There's a rather fancy and opulent stable. Instead of just straw and dirt, there's actually a soft sandstone tiling that they replace frequently, because it obviously wears down on the horses, but this gives them somewhere stable to stand without messing up their shoes or their feet. It becomes very, very clear that they're quite proud of how much money they have. But you go ahead and you take the horses into the stables, and as you go to stable them yourself, 3 young men run out, and they grab the horses by the leads, and they say, "We'll take care of that." And then they grab the horses by the leads, and they say, "You go on in and do what you need." And then they stable all of your horses for you. Or at least everybody that went there. Is everybody going there at the same time?
Petra will be a little
Okay.
bit upset that she couldn't do it herself, but she'll nod.
Right. Head into the Merchantile Guild and find whatever counter with whatever person that we need to talk to.
Okay, you walk in and immediately notice you've come into a grand hall with high vaulted ceilings, beautiful archways. There's mosaics across the ceiling. It is a very, very rich building.
Petra will squint trying to make out details in the.
It's just like, is there any food up there? Any of those look yummy?
Mosaics of food?
Yeah.
Can I eat the mosaics of food?
Jeeves lets off a little bit of steam.
But at the far side of the grand entryway, you see that there is a counter there, with several people loitering around it. But there's clearly somebody sitting behind the desk, that's just essentially sitting there and waiting for people to approach.
All right. You will go up, pull out the mercantile license, and be like, "We are here as a member of the Ruby Conglomerate, and we'd like to register with your Merchantile Guild."
She looks up and she goes, "That'll be 500 gold."
Oh my god.
As she says that, I need an insight check from all of you. So let me do this. Hold on. I'm going to go.
Amaranth, where's the rest of the gold from the diamond?
Hold on.
That's designated funds.
Okay, everybody should have gotten an insight check except Poppy.
I didn't get one.
You didn't get one? Yeah, okay. Just roll insight for me. I see why you didn't get it, but that was my bad.
Was it because she was?
Toby very quickly realizes, as well as New, as well as Raynor, that this person is trying to fleece you. And as this happens, you hear somebody going, "Psst, psst," and waving you over. This person that's waving you over is standing off to the side. You almost didn't notice them before. They have a very translucent presence, I would say. They seem to almost not be there. Like they could easily dip and dodge out of your eyesight without you really noticing one way or the other. But you happen to notice that there's this halfling woman essentially standing off in the corner to the side there.
Uh-oh.
I will tell the clerk to hold that thought because I need to confer with my group and then like usher everybody over towards the halfling. Be like, what?
Okay. So you approach the halfling, and the halfling says, "Smokey."
I know where I could get it cheaper.
I mean,
I
I'm
know where I
pretty
can get
sure
it
she's
cheaper.
trying to fleece us. So, what do you mean cheaper?
Petra kind of just
Like,
glares.
why not go back and just
At
feel
the
like
other halfling.
that price isn't correct, and I know it.
How tall is your halfling?
Four,
Smokey.
4'9".
My God, you're a halfling and you're almost as tall as frickin' Niu.
That's not a halfling, that's a midling.
What do we call it?
That's a 3/4 link. What are you talking about?
Oh.
You're a very tall halfling.
Yep. It's all halfling. They happen.
Petra just kind of grabs her battle axe off her back.
Okay,
Glaring.
elaborate, please. What do you mean cheaper? Because we could just, call them on their bluff of trying to make us pay 500 gold.
I could probably get lower than 500, maybe like probably 300.
15. The person that you know can get their registration done for 15 gold.
Oh, he's trying to flee us now. Oh, we see how.
Yeah, apparently.
No, I didn't know how much to go. How much lower?
Yeah, no, it was 15. That's
15
what we
gold. Oh, that's
discussed
right.
yesterday. Yeah, 15.
Yep, that's right. I forgot.
It's okay. That's why I reminded you. It's
Yep.
15.
15 gold.
So pretend Poppy said 15.
Amaranth! The gold! The diamond fund!
What, you don't have 15 gold on you?
Petra's kind of standing between her group and this halfling woman.
Where's this 50? Where can you get it done for 15? Is this legitimate, or are we talking to some fraudulent one?
Yeah, how
Smokey?
exactly? are
That's
they
a question for
gonna-
Poppy.
Well, I'm asking.
Yep.
That's a question for Poppy. Go.
Let's have Amaranth ask for their manager.
Hold on, I'm trying to think of
Legit, before the whole...
Where would we go to get this
halfling-
merchant guild? Where would we get to register? Why don't you take us there?
Are you gonna take them, Smokey?
Yeah, I will take him.
Okay. So Poppy leads you out the front of the building and through a few side streets up to an old paneled building, and kind of leans against the panel and knocks on it. You see a slit open up where a brick was, and somebody looks out, sees Poppy. Poppy gives kind of a nod. The brick pops back and the wall opens up. You walk through it. You end up behind several buildings. At this building, and as you approach this building, the entire tone of just the surrounding area changes. And you very
Thieves
quickly
Guild.
realize you have now entered the Thieves Guild.
What did I say? 100% a Thieves Guild.
Great, so it's not a legitimate one. So as soon as we go to a border and they don't like it, they're gonna throw it out, and then we're gonna they're gonna rip it up. We're just gonna be down a whole bunch of money again.
Maybe not. They might be good or maybe good fakes. Thieves Guilds are known for having really good fakes.
Yeah,
Or
but
they
we know
might
that
just
the
have
Merchants
a
Guild was shit.
devious in with somebody in the Merchants Guild to get actual real ones, just on
As well.
a shady basis.
It's
True.
better to try it out than spend 500 gold, which we don't have because we only have 400 gold left. Just to
But
give
it was a
everyone
bluff.
an understanding.
But we know they were lying. They were trying to fleece us out.
We've just been told. New just told us they were trying to fleece us.
Well, I mean, Toby and, I think somebody else were... Raynor also...
yeah, but you were the one
figured
who
it out
said that they
themselves.
were trying to fleece us.
Yeah, you specifically said it.
Petra
So-
just becomes dismissive of Poppy.
Just immediately.
Whether I said it or not, though, Toby and Raynor don't need my...
Yeah, those
input
two
to
would have
know
already
that
known,
they-
but everybody else would know because
Yeah,
you
I
said
didn't
it.
know. Petra didn't know, and some of us didn't know. That's why I'm saying you were the one who told us that we were being
Yeah.
fleeced.
So we either have this possibly legitimate one, but possibly not, or we go get a legitimate one, which was the group want to do.
So... If we can confirm with them how this is going to work, we might be able to suss out if it is legitimate or if it's going to be a fake, and decide from there.
We're not going to be able to do 20 questions on this thing. They're either going to give it to us or not, and they're going to ask that. This is what Thieves Guilds do. You can't just ask everything and try and get a definitive answer. It ain't going to happen.
As you're sitting there arguing, you guys happen to notice that there are now 2 Petras standing there.
Petra looks
Oh.
at.
There goes that
Petra
fun.
looks at. Petra looks at the other Petra. Like, what the fuck?
And this other Petra moves almost mirror image with Petra. The same what the fuck look, the same axe in hand, leaning back kind of. They look identical. You cannot tell them apart.
Oh, good. They're good at copying halflings. They should be good at copying merchant quests.
Petra goes to kind of just like weakly slap her hands at the mirror image of herself.
So as Petra reaches out to slap at this person, they step forward past the hand, and as they step through Petra's shadow, out of the shadow, you see Windsor standing.
Ta-da!
All right.
And
So they're
and this
good with
is a
illusions or
copy
some
of
shenanigans?
this is a copy of Windsor. And this copy then leans back and puts an arm, like an elbow, on top of Petra's head, and she very clearly feels the weight of this person leaning on her head.
Petra will
Well,
shove
goodbye,
them down.
Windsor.
What was that?
Petra will shove the Windsor down.
Can I
Okay.
Can
So-
I do an Arcana check to see?
You
what
can
it is?
absolutely do an Arcana check.
Thank you.
I want to do
in
an
the meantime-
investigation or whatever to see if it's an illusion.
Okay, that would be Arcana.
Yeah.
So as she shoves this Windsor copycat, Windsor falls forward, rolls, and then when they stand up, Toby's there. And you very quickly identify this is a changeling. This is not an illusion. This is an actual changeling.
This is a very skilled change.
Oh, fun!
A
it's
very
a
skilled
changeling.
changeling. Yes.
Are you telling us that, or are you just saying that? in
Yeah,
your
I'm actively saying that, and you would respond that way.
Okay.
And they kind of laugh and immediately turn into New while standing there and clap. And they go, "Well done! My name's Rig. And I hear you folks need to register yourselves with the Merchants Guild. Well, I just so happen," and she kind of does a little twirl, and you immediately see her turn into the head of the Merchants Guild. And their voice immediately changes, and they go, "Happen to know exactly how to do that."
So it is legitimate. They're going to do some shenanigans. Got it.
Legitimate shenanigans. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. 15 gold, is it?
And Rig nods and kind of gives a thumbs up to Poppy for obviously bringing you to them because they want to make the gold, clearly.
Also, heckin', would we even know that that's the head of the Merchants Guild? Like, we just talked to some random ass clerk.
The person that you're talking about, Rig?
Yeah, the person they
you
changed
don't,
into.
You don't know who. Oh, the person that they turned into. When you walked in, there's a big painting of the head of the Merchants Guild just on the wall. One of those big, obnoxious, like self-portrait kind of crap.
Labeled and everything.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay.
Petra just kind of
So-
looks between Rig and Poppy, just kind of very sussed out. She seems suspicious.
Okay.
Still putting
you-
yourself between the group and, them.
You can do an insight check if Petra's trying to figure out if these people are bad or not.
Yeah.
Petra's
Why
got danger
not?
sense.
Doesn't she have danger sense? I believe she
Danger
does.
sense doesn't work that way.
It doesn't
Petra's
work that way,
spider
though.
sense
Right
is
that way.
tingling.
Gives her advantage on dexterity rolls.
That's right, dexterity. But yeah, if you
Basically,
want to
only
roll
person
insight, you can.
traps.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
shit.
Well, there you go.
Oh, nice. Nice
Yeah.
roll.
So, with a nat 20, you very quickly realize that these two are definitely little miscreants, but they are true to their word. Like, this is, though this is a thieves guild, this is an honorable thieves guild, meaning that if they strike a deal with you, you will get what you paid for.
I love it's a nat 20, but it's still a 19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not very insightful, but she nailed that one.
Petra will put her battle axe away, not feeling as threatened.
I'll go to Rig and I'll say, here's the deal. You get half now and you get half later. That's on the that's on the note that it actually works.
Rig laughs and pulls out a piece of paper and hands it over and says, I'll take it all now. And you can see that the paperwork's already been completely filled out. Your registration's already done.
Nice.
Like, they were on it. It's almost as if the moment you walked into town, they knew exactly what to do.
Okay.
It's very clear that this Thieves Guild is well connected because they were ready.
This is the paperwork we need to prove that we're affiliated with this Merchants Guild then.
Yes. And what it is it's essentially just a receipt saying that your credentials have been validated by the Merchants Guild.
Niu will take that and put it with the permit they have from the Ruby Conglomerate.
Okay. That being said, this would be a good time for Poppy to explain why she's helping you. Because at this point, you've helped for no reason.
I need to get out of town. Can I come with you guys to get out?
Okay, why do you need to get out of town? Like, what trouble are you going to be causing to follow us?
I can't tell you.
Oh, well, then by all means.
Petra
Well,
just
you need to
kind
give
of
us something.
Petra just kind of suspiciously stares at Poppy. She's not like as aggressive as she was before, but it's very clear by her body language that she is.
It's okay, Petra.
Cutting
You're the
herself.
prettier of the two halflings.
How like noisy is this Thieves Guild?
By noisy, do you mean like actual noise, or do you mean like
people talking, things going on, whatever? Like,
it's mostly hushed conversation.
Right.
I'd check your pockets if I were you.
You need to give us some information. We can't just go on just your word.
Yeah, what do you think? We are a random bunch of people that just got together to do something?
Can Niu duck behind one of the larger members of the party and very quietly prepare a spell?
You can certainly try. That'd be a
Like
stealth
stealth
check. Are you specifically hiding from Poppy?
Yes.
Then it's a contested stealth check. Poppy needs to do a perception check.
Perception check. All right. Perception.
And what spell are you attempting to prepare?
Suggestion.
Okay.
No, you saw that.
Poppy immediately notices what you're doing.
I don't like this. Wait a second. I'm over here. No, bye. Okay. Oh, where'd she go?
Yeah, Poppy, you see that she's tried to like duck out of sight to prepare a spell.
I'm gonna walk over, and I'm gonna just stare at her face. Stare at her. I'm like, "What are you doing under there, or over there?"
Just pops up in her face. So, what you doing?
Yep. What you doing?
That looks neat. Is that a spell? I like spells.
Petra just kind of, as Poppy walks by, tries to make herself look bigger,
Puffs out her chest.
trying to intimidate.
She's like a peacock, you know, like with the
Pretty
feathers.
Niu will just straight up brush Poppy off and be like, "It's nothing. You don't need to worry about it." I was just checking something.
It's funny to me that Petra is still the shortest person in the party.
So New needs to make a deception check. And that'll be contested by Poppy's insight check.
Insight check. All right.
Yeah, don't even bother rolling that shit.
Yeah, it did not fool Poppy at all. Poppy very quickly realizes that you're up to no good. At which point, Rig, who actually knows magic, says, "I don't suggest doing that, love. You won't like the results." And she snaps her fingers, and seemingly from nowhere, multiple people step out of the shadows.
You just stop.
Not everything has to be resorted to magic. You do have charisma. You can also talk your way out of this.
You can talk to people, you know. You don't have to always try and fool them with magic.
Petra will at that point put herself between
but
Poppy
magic.
and you,
Probably
telling
does.
her,
Conversation is
telling her, back off,
Which one?
Poppy.
Okay, tell Poppy to back up. What does
Yep.
Poppy do?
I'm gonna tell him. Oh, come on! I need to get out of the town. This is not good.
So
Then
I'll
you
ask
need
for
to
the-
tell us why.
What's not
We
good?
don't need more danger coming after us than already is.
I've already asked this like 3 times.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's not you. It's me. I need to get out of here. I can't tell you.
Yeah, but we've only just got into town.
You need to give us something. We can't just go by this. We appreciate that you've done this for us, but we need something. We all have our history, and we don't know everyone's, but you need to give us something.
Can you at least just tell one person?
That would be one person will tell everyone else. So.
I did a terrible crime. I can't tell you. I just need to get out of here.
Okay, do you need to get out of here now, as in today, or
No, I just need. I just need to looking to get a ride or somewhere out of town.
Okay, well, what are you good at?
What I'm good at.
Presumably thievy things.
Yes, I'm a well-known thief.
Well, that's not good. 'cause
That's bad.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to say
Really
that.
bad.
No,
You wouldn't want to say that.
Petra
No.
crosses her arms, glaring.
You're the worst pirate I've ever heard of. Well,
Right.
Yeah, but
Glaring
have
up at-
heard of me.
Petra
Ooh.
crosses her arms, glaring up at Poppy, raising her eyebrow.
Which means you're good at sneaking, right?
To help you out, I would say that you're really good at getting in and out of places
yeah, in and out
and
places.
scouting.
It's scouting.
Which is what we need, because none of us can scout. None of us have
I
good
have a
stealth.
familiar for that.
I think
Yeah, but that's just one person. Like, why not? Well, you don't have to have a spell to do that. And you were the only one who understands.
yeah.
Oh, you understand it now too.
I'm pretty sure. Wait, I thought it spoke common.
No, it's telepathic. It speaks abyssal.
Yeah, so you would only be the one who would understand, which is why having someone who can also do that, who can speak to all of us, would be helpful.
No, it actually speaks common.
Yeah, imps speak common, I believe.
Speaks
okay.
infernal in common. So I can't
Oh,
even
not
understand it if it's speaking infernal because I don't speak infernal.
Well,
I think
understand
Amber
Anyway.
does.
I do, yeah.
Yep.
I know Infernal.
Oh, you just destroyed your own argument there.
Well, it doesn't talk to me. It talks telepathically, doesn't it? So we don't know.
Anyway,
Not to mention, there are many things an imp can't do,
exactly.
like
There are
get
many
through a
things-
locked door.
There's many things that this gentleman would probably do.
Alright, well, Petra will switch it up, start speaking halfling, saying, why should we have you in our group?
Secret
Towards Bobby.
conversation. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is how it sounds to everyone else.
Sounds like Alan and the Chipmunks speaking Pig
Yeah.
Latin.
Pig Latin.
All right. So what does Poppy say? Now that it's a private conversation with just you and one other person, is Poppy gonna reveal anything or sticking with the I can't tell you?
I'm gonna tell her I have another. I'm gonna say I stole something, and a different group of people are looking for me.
Okay.
And Petra will ask another question, being like, "How much trouble you in with them?"
Wait.
Are they in any
Is
danger?
Poppy responding in halfling?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a private conversation in house.
Private conversation. I'm very in trouble.
All
Just-
right. How dangerous are they?
I do not know.
Actually, you would know.
I would know.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the liches that you guys are currently dealing with, 6.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the T-Rex.
12.
So do we all just want to make a decision on this? Because we're just going to be wasting time again having a chit chat. We got things to do today.
Yeah.
Petra will just shush everyone. And do we have to worry about them tracking you in any way?
Possibly, yes.
Yes, I would also add that their influence ends at the border of Puertia. So they'll have a much harder time tracking you and doing anything once you cross the border. If you want to tell them that, you can. If not, then
I will show. I pull something out of my pocket. All you see is just a photo of my picture of my face. You know, like a
Wanted poster?
wanted poster, but you don't see what it is. You know, because I ripped that off. All you see is just the face of the wanted poster.
Is he ripped off the reward?
Yeah, just to hide that.
I hand dig the 15 gold, by the way.
Okay. You hand Rig the gold? Alright, so they take the gold, kind of tip their hat, walk into the building, and everybody that was around just kind of seems to go back about their day.
Cool. Well,
And
I look at
Petra-
everyone else and go, well, I'm going to be going back this way whilst you decide this, okay?
Okay.
So I'm walking back out, personally.
Okay, so you leave the Thieves Guild. Is anybody else leaving the Thieves Guild?
I'll lead with Toby.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sort of leave it between New and Petra, really.
Okay. Which I know Windsor is going to go to the monastery, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so the monastery is this building here. It's not... There we go, that building.
I asked Winter if he minds if I come with him.
No, fine. Just behave yourself. That's all I ask.
Okay.
Go to the monastery, find out. Oh, what was I going to say? See if I can find out who or what their principals are from the decor on the outside.
Okay, then I would need an investigation check.
Ooh, nice 12.
So you quickly realize that you're not particularly familiar with them, but you do know that they are affiliated with the monastery that you are from.
Okay.
So they're not what's the word? Antagonistic views, but they're not something that you're directly familiar with.
Right. Okay. I'll go inside. Tithe 5 gold and light incense and pray for my ancestors. To my ancestors.
Okay. So you go inside, and it's a very humble building. The outside is very opulent, like the rest of the city. But as soon as you walk in, you do realize that this is, in fact, like a real monastery. And that the outside was probably gilded by the nobles to make it not an eyesore for them. But once you walk inside, it's very much just a humble monastery. You go in, and there's several private prayer chambers off to the sides. You find one, and you make use of that particular room to yourself. And I'm guessing Toby's just gonna hang out in the hallway.
Oh, he's gonna go to another prayer room.
Yeah. And he's gonna be like, "How do I eat this incense?" No.
No, that's Petra.
It tastes kind of waxy.
Is there a main hall here?
A what?
Is there like a main hall?
A main hall of the monastery? Yeah. So all of the prayer rooms branch off of the main hall.
Cool. Well, I'll just stay in the main hall then and just look around the interesting architecture of the inside.
Okay. And then we go back to the Thieves Guild real quick. What are the three of you doing?
Petra will ask one more question, asking, how do you do in combat?
Pretty good.
Okay. We'll see. You can travel with us, but if you prove too much trouble, you're on your own. This isn't halfling.
Okay.
And then she'll look at Noon and say, she can travel with us.
So says the head merchant.
I still don't trust her.
So say we all.
Well,
Alright, what is Amaranth doing?
Amaranth?
So I should most likely just try and find a room and carry on reading her the Void Journal book about it. See if she
Okay.
can find anything more about it.
Okay, so she's looking around for somewhere to rest?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is an inn. Where did I put that? It is right here. This gray roofed building there is an inn. It's not particularly expensive, but that is the inn there.
Is this in racist too?
I guess you'll find out, won't you?
I'll go in and say like,
Wow.
how much is a room for the night?
Okay, so you walk in and go ask to see, the cost of a room. And there's kind of a pudgy, elderly lady behind the counter when you walk in. But she's got a big, crooked grin on her face, missing several teeth. And she goes, "For you, Ani! 2 silver."
Can I get 6 rooms then, please?
And she claps her hands. She goes, "Oh, big spender, huh? Sure thing." And she pulls out 6 keys and drops them on the table and holds out her hand for the 12 silver. So 1 gold, 2 silver.
That's fine, yeah. That's fine. I'll give her the 1 gold and 2 silver.
Yeah, okay. And she takes it and she says, "You let me know if you need anything." And then she goes back to working behind the bar, getting drinks. Somebody kind of calls out to her from across the bar, and you just hear her go, shut up! And then she just kind of laughs a little bit, clearly just bantering with guests. Everybody seems to be having a pretty good time there.
I'll walk back out and I'll go to the monastery, which I'm guessing that's where Windsor would be going to. And then I'll just see if I can find him and Toby to give them keys.
Okay.
Petra will go. Petra will go towards the merchant guild to go see the horses.
Okay. So she's gonna go take care of the horses.
Yep.
What's New doing?
New's gonna go find that mages guild that she saw.
Okay.
I would
that
like-
is this building here.
I would like to say, it will be apparent to Poppy that Petra accepts her into the group, but she does not appear to accept her as a person yet.
Okay. She's like, yeah, you can travel with us, but you're an asshole. Okay. Yeah, so
Well, you know
New's
why.
going to the Mages Guild. Any particular reason that she's going to the Mages Guild?
She wants to see, like, what their affiliations are, what kind of, knowledge and stuff they might be willing to share, and if there might be any connections she can make in terms of, being able to, acquire any kind of nifty items or help with this, that, or the other thing down the road. Maybe they have information like other magical books on the liches or something. I don't know. They might have their own library, like the college or something. It's a mages guild.
What's the first thing that she does when she gets there? We'll start with that.
She will attempt to find like a receptionist or something, somebody that looks like they're there to help people coming in or whatnot.
Okay. So you walk in, and you very quickly realize that the person behind the desk seems rather short, because all you see is a hat moving back and forth behind the countertop.
She'll go up to the counter and kind of lean on it and be like, pardon me.
And as you do that, the creature behind the desk hops up onto a chair. You have no idea what this creature is, but they are rather short. They're only about 1.5 feet tall, with a hat that's almost twice as tall as them, and almost as big around as it is tall. So you can barely see them under this hat that's poking up over the countertop there. From what you can see of them, they have rather short legs and a rounded sort of body. And they can't speak, it would seem, but as their mouth moves, words kind of pop up in the air in front of them. And it's almost like runic writing as they're speaking. And it spells out, how can I help you? And with that being said, as Toonie just reminded me, because I completely forgot, even though like I had my alarm go off, there was too much going on. We're going to take a break for, say, 10 minutes, come back at 15 after.
Okay.
Now, let's see.
So which nightmares is Amaranth having now?
I don't even know what these nightmares are about. I have no idea.
Yeah, okay. We'll believe
I really don't.
Spooky.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we left off
right.
with New at the Mages Guild, correct? And you just walked up, and there's this creature, this bulbous sort of creature with really small legs. The legs themselves are probably about the same size as your fingers. This is a very small creature. But as it speaks, the words write almost in like glowing letters in front of it. And the words that it writes in front of itself say, how can I help you?
Niu being a little, I don't want to say taken aback, but like surprised at this strange creature that she is unfamiliar with what it even is, will pause a moment, and then just be like, I came to see, like, what your guild offers? Like, this is a mages guild, so I don't know.
Yes, thank you for telling the secretary.
Yeah, it starts nodding rapidly. And you realize it must not have any bones, because as it's nodding, it's almost wiggling like one of those inflatable flailing people. Like just
A wiggler
like
hat.
flopping forward, and the hat on top is wiggling with it.
Flame little tube man.
Yeah, exactly. So, it kind of does that as it nods, and then it reaches under the table, and, it starts sorting through some stuff, and then it pops back up, and it's got, like, a little handout for new recruits and stuff that tells you all about the Mages Guild. It's got a small little map in there that gives you a general idea of the layout and where you can go to get certain things. And on it, you notice that the huge central tower is a giant library. And then there's also like a resting quarter. There are private study rooms. There's obviously, guild members only services. Many different things of that nature. But the library itself is the big main center column.
Does the pamphlet say anything about what it takes to become a member?
Well,
and like, if they have other branches in other cities or something.
So the pamphlet itself has you can apply at a Mages Guild, but it doesn't actually specifically say any affiliations that they have or anything like that. But from everything that Niu knows, being, affiliated with a college and as much time as she spent in said college and learning things and reading books, she would be familiar with the fact that most guilds are bound to a single country. There are a few exceptions, but those are rare, and most mages guilds are usually politically inclined, so they tend to be bound to the borders of a country.
Well, she'll turn to the weird creature thing and be like, so what does it take for the like application process to become a member, and like how far-reaching, like what other mages guilds, if any, are you affiliated with?
And it does its little wobble nod thing, reaches back down under the desk, sorts through a few papers real quick, and then it pulls out another little thing. And this one, when you open it up, it's got a list of affiliated guilds on the left, and then it's got affiliated political parties through the center column, and then the right page has the application process and everything like that, which includes that you have to be a resident of the current country that you are in for this particular Mages Guild.
Well, balls, that's not happening. Does like the pamphlet or anything mention like specifically any of the members only benefits?
As you flip it over on the back, it lists, the benefits of joining, and because it's designed to be an advertisement brochure to convince people to join. So it shows, that they've got all sorts of different things. They've got a dragon that can be used as transport. They've got private rooms. There's free food and boarding for mages when they're in the cities. And then, of course, various different communication magics, unlimited access to the library, and, the various different things along those lines.
Mm-hmm. So she's gonna turn back to the weird creature and be like, so the application process says you have to be part of the country. How does that work for, like, a traveling mage who doesn't particularly have residency in the country because, they travel? Do you have some kind of membership option for that?
So it begins talking, and the words, again, right in front of it, but they're kind of like floating up, almost like scrolling text. And as the words pop up, the little creature is saying essentially that to get members' benefits without actually being a full member of the guild, you have to be a member of one of their partnered guilds in another country.
Right. looking over the list of affiliated guilds, it doesn't happen. They don't happen to be affiliated with, I don't know, the fucking college in Tellura, are they?
They're not affiliated with any colleges.
Fuck.
They
Mhm.
are affiliated with the Fondinian Mages Guild, but they are not affiliated with the college.
I'll take that into note. It might be a good benefit to become affiliated with the Fondinian Mages Guild. Because unfortunately, this doesn't help me a whole lot if I'm not a member. I will thank him for his assistance and tell him I will hopefully be back to explore more, but I currently am not affiliated with any of your partner guilds, so...
So it gives another wiggly nod and then hops off the stool, and you just see the hat bouncing around on the other side of the counter again as it's running about doing various clerical duties.
Was there anything on like the pamphlets and whatnot of things that I could do in the guild without being a member?
You are allowed to access the library and the foyer where you are now. But your access to the library is restricted to the first floor only.
Right. I guess I'll go check out what part of the library I can. Maybe they'll have something interesting.
Okay. So you go to the library. Now, I'm going to start at the top of the list again and go back through everybody. So what is Amaranth doing now?
She would have gone to the monastery to drop off the keys to Toby and Windsor,
Okay.
and then she would have just kind of made her way to the Mages Guild as well to see if she can read any books upon any research she needs.
Okay. So she does that. She goes, drops them off, straight off to the Mages Guild, runs into the same little critter behind the desk.
Can you direct me to the library?
Yep. And so it pulls out the brochure and it sets it down, and then it opens it up directly in front of you, and then very rapidly, like the little cat meme, taps on the map there to say, like, here's a map.
Thank you.
Okay. So you are able to take the map. Very clearly big doors in front of you that you're able to walk through. Boom, library. And again, as you walk through, you hear almost like a whisper. It's a magical whisper, and it kind of says directly to you that, remember, all guests are only permitted on the first floor.
Okay.
So you go into the library and you begin to search. Anything in particular that she's searching for?
Books are cannibalism.
I don't eat people! God, you pick up one book accidentally and everybody...
It's good to know that the people you eat you don't view as people.
don't eat people at all!
Listen, Petra's bad with food. She's not that bad.
Yet.
Yeah, exactly. If you're starving to death, who knows what you would do?
Petra's
Donna
scary
asked
a
that
little bit.
question.
She want to try and find books on anything about memories, like recalling memories or forgetting memories, any kind of information if she can find that on the first floor. It might be probably in the more floors, so she'll see what she can do.
Okay. Give me an investigation, because you're looking for something. And if you beat my roll, then you will find a book.
Oh, piss off with that shit. God, I did.
Yeah, so you managed to beat my roll.
Good.
I rolled an 8, so it wasn't difficult.
You never know with you.
Yep, you never know. Especially being the DM, I might have a D100 and be like, you have to beat it.
You definitely have a D100. Don't even lie.
Oh, yeah, I've got 2 of them right here.
You make me do odds and evens again.
So is there any particular information that she's looking for in these books?
To see if she can recall any memories back.
If there's a way to get her memories back.
Yes.
Okay.
She's gathered that she's lost her memories because of the book, and she's just trying to see if she can get anything back.
Okay, so she runs across a book that specifically talks about magical memory manipulation, the loss of memory, and the recovery methods for it. There are several different ways. Most of them involve extracting the brain and extracting the memories. And those are probably not what she's looking for. So keep flipping through. And eventually
we
she
could
comes...
take the brain out and probably replace it with like Revivify or something that fixes the body.
I'd rather not die at all if I had the choice.
So she comes across a potion that's said to work in certain cases. But the thing is when people drink this potion, they remember things that nobody else remembers ever happening. So they're not sure if this is causing delusion or if it's effective in the recovery of memory. Because the person generally remembers the things that they, had intentionally forgot for the study, but they also remember weird things, like songs that never existed or gods that never were.
I mean, that's her best shot at this point. We'll see what it says.
Okay, so you find this particular recipe. Let me pull it up. I've actually got this. Hold on.
Oh my god, it could actually happen. I can remember.
Yes, it's very possible. As soon as I get this pulled up. Because I want to remember the
What are
name.
you doing?
She's forgotten the memory potion.
Yep, I forgot the memory potion. I blame you guys. Toonie? Swear to
You
God.
create a penis. I was like, what are you doing? And then I was like, okay,
What
that's
am I doing?
Yeah, that's not surprising.
What have I done? I haven't done anything.
Mm-hmm. Is that what you want to say?
What? No, what have I done? I'm genuinely confused.
He's not the one drawing the penis, if that's what you think.
Oh. Smokey. Of course it's Smokey.
And Jade.
I did the. It's
You
me.
did the penis.
Oh
I'm
my
not doing anything.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay.
That's what happens when the halfling barbarian gets bored.
If it means anything, you would have to travel 125 feet to make this penis.
So you would recognize that the potion requires where'd it go? Sparkwood spice, which is an ingredient that I believe you already have.
I had never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Don't know what that is. Sorry. But it requires that. It requires the scales of a river fish. And it requires... What the hell are you drawing now? Oh my goodness.
I fucked it up.
Anyways,
Goddamn.
the scales of a river fish. And then there are several other various ingredients listed there. They're very general, common ingredients that you should be able to find at any alchemy shop. Things like butterfly wings, different herbs and things along those lines.
Cool.
All in all, it doesn't seem like this potion will be hard to create.
Cool.
But it does warn you that attempting to create this potion and drinking this potion could lead to delusions or rampant nightmares.
Wow. I've already
Well, she
got
already
nightmares
has
in my head. Exactly. I already have those. I don't have to worry about that. That's fine. I'll see if I can find Nia, because knowing her, she'll most
There you
probably
go.
be in the mage guild and see if I can.
That's the best I could
get
do.
to the room.
Okay, so you're gonna look for her?
Yeah, I mean she's most probably gonna be here, so
Yeah. And you're only on the first floor, so it shouldn't be too hard. I'm playing with 5-year-olds.
very much. But yeah,
Okay.
I'll give her the key to the inn and let her know she's got a room.
Okay. So moving on down the line, Jade, what is Petra doing besides drawing balls on the map?
Dick symbols.
Alright. Okay. Did Petra follow Amaranth to the thing? I think she did. Okay, whatever. I'll just say Petra followed Amaranth to the inn. Oh wait, no. She went to the stable. Right, sorry.
Yep, she went to the stable.
Petra is making sure the horses are all comfortable and
Okay, I need an
brushed.
animal handling roll.
If you
Okay,
hurt
I
my
need a
horse, I swear to
dexterity
God.
saving throw.
yay.
With advantage.
So she just
Yeah,
got
with
bigger little
advantage.
legs.
Oh.
Oh, well, you don't need it.
Not
You're fine.
worried.
Yeah, so you're sitting there trying to brush the horse, but you're being rather rough because barbarian strength, and you're used to dealing with Roskara, which are have a much thicker hide and they're a lot stockier. So you're brushing this horse when really you're just spanking it with this hairbrush as you're trying to brush it, and you go to brush its rear end, and the brush comes down real hard, and the horse goes to kick you in the head. You duck hella quick, and you're just like, holy crap. Okay, what is Poppy doing?
I'm staying in the thieves guild to hide out.
Waiting for your chance to leave.
Yes.
Okay, what is Toby doing? Just still hanging out?
So, like I say, Toby's hanging out in the monastery at the moment. He's, like I say, he's making notes of all the different sorts of ornates and different symbols that he can see around,
Okay,
and like writing things down in his book.
okay, so basically just
just-
studying?
Yeah, he's basically like studying, like trying to get an idea of what Windsor's culture's like. 'Cause
Okay,
obviously, he's never had to deal with a monk before, so he's like, this is a bit interesting. That's why he
Makes
wouldn't
sense.
follow it. So he's like trying to look around, looking at the symbols. And he's coming in it from a analytical point of view rather than a religious point of view.
makes sense. And
Because-
what is Windsor doing?
Okay, so, well, pray to the ancestors for an hour, and then...
Yep.
Where are we at after that? Get up, leave, go find the rest of the party.
Well, as I'll be waiting for him to come out,
Mhm.
and when he comes out, I'll make note that I've got a key for him. Amaranth got us a room literally just over the way that we can go stay in.
I
Okay.
think
Then she said she was going to head up to the Mages Guild to go see New.
Okay. I thank Toby, and I'll head towards the inn and my room.
Okay.
I'll head out with him, and I'll head to the inn as well. But I want to ask to see if I'll ask at the inn to see if there's a smithy around.
Okay, so you're gonna look for the smithy?
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll ask at the inn to see where the smithy is, because they'll probably direct me there quicker than me just randomly walking around the streets.
okay. So yeah, you go there and you walk inside and you walk up to, like I mentioned, the rather pudgy old lady that's got a crooked smile, and you ask her, if there's a smith around, and she thinks for a second, and then she looks at Toby and she kind of grins a bit, and then she goes back to thinking. And then she looks at Toby again and she goes, "Stop it, you're distracting me."
Toby's very confused at the moment, and he's like, I didn't move.
And she kind of laughs and fans herself, and she goes, "Yeah, but you're cute."
Ew, gross.
Okay, thank you. That's lovely. I still want to know where the smith is.
She kind of just goes, "Fine," and then she pulls out a map of the local area, and she goes, "We're here, you need to go here." And she points to a place that's not too far away from the inn. It's going to be this building right back here. That's this tool. Here we go. Right there.
Okay, cool. I thank her politely and say, I'll be back later.
Okay, and then she kind of just fans herself again and then laughs. It's clear that she's mostly just having a good time.
Yeah.
And then, off you go down to the smithy. I'm assuming you're looking for more materials?
No, I'm looking to start working on some materials from my book.
Okay. In that case, let me look at the sheet here. What?
I would say, if you want a hand, an intelligence check plus my proficiency, because I'll be using my tools, my smithing tools, which I have proficiency in.
Yeah, I was thinking, can't you just... you can directly roll your smithing tools.
Yeah, you can directly.
Yeah, so roll your smithing tools.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. It'd be my intelligence plus my smithing tools, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, we can add your intelligence modifier. Let's see here. It already has the option for intelligence.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, so just roll it.
Cool.
Which I think that's the first roll for tools ever.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you managed to ruin half of your materials.
Oh.
Damn.
Did not go well.
What did he say about that being his 120 for the whole night?
I didn't lie.
well, hopefully that's your 1-1 for the night.
Never is.
No, never is. But it could be. You never know.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay, then we are back to New.
Having bumped into Amaranth, she'll accept the key and thank her for settling the rooms, and ask if she needs help finding anything. Amaranth.
Sorry, hello, sorry. Who was talking to me? Stupid guy. Yes? Sorry, what? Yes?
Niu was asking if she found what she was looking for, if Niu could help.
Oh, yeah, sure. I just need to get some sparkwood spice, which I think we have, a scale of a riverfish, and then some common ingredients. So I need to try and find, like, an alchemist place, I guess?
I mean, weird creature at the desk might know where one is. I would assume it's not uncommon that mages have to deal with alchemy shenanigans.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go get that ass.
I'm gonna have to ban Petra from using the measuring tool. Oh my god.
Pretty much.
I'm not even paying attention.
Wait till she learns how to use the draw tools.
Oh god, don't say that.
And then,
Oh no.
Niu will go back to perusing through the books to see if she can
dinosaurs
find
everywhere.
anything on potentially more information involving the liches. She'll see if she can find anything on dinosaurs because she knows Petra's looking for stuff on that. And more books on...
Okay, guys, this is going on YouTube. You know that, right?
Stop drawing that.
And more books on, like, social stuff.
Okay. Sorry, I was dealing with that, so I didn't get that exactly. I caught that you were looking for books on social stuff, and what else?
Dinosaurs, because Petra, and any more information on the cult or liches.
Okay. So you quickly realize that all information that's considered sensitive knowledge, such as cults, liches, things like that, are not held on the first floor.
Son of a bitch.
I've had my fun. I'll stop for tonight.
And then Amaranth went back to the counter, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you get back to the counter. You're asking about an alchemy place, right?
Yeah, like where I can get these ingredients.
So it reaches its hand up, and the brochure that it handed you teleports out of where you had kept it and pops right back in its hand, and it holds it open, and it taps the map again, and then it taps a specific part on the map, and then it taps the legend, and you can see the little color dot there, showing one of the rooms off to the side, is a full alchemy shop.
Thank you. How do you work? I'm so interested to know.
It kind of stares at you for a moment, and then it speaks, and again, the words like right up into the sky, and it says, "What do you mean work?"
Why don't you actually say work, like voice noise?
And then you just see, like, written out, it laughing for a moment. And then it says, as the words are coming up, it says, Mandragorians can't speak because we're vegetables.
Fascinating. I'm gonna have to look
So
this
it's
up.
just a literal vegetable.
Yeah, it's a plant-based creature rather than animal-based
It should be
creature.
glad Petra's not there.
Fucking magic vegetable. Got it.
It's carrot cake.
No, it's Carrot Top.
So where, like, I have to know, like, I'll ask the question. That'll be like my final question before I go to the alchemy place. Like, where do you guys like originate from?
So it kind of imitates what looks like singing a song, and the writing that's going above it, instead of forming words that you understand, they begin to depict almost like you can almost recognize what you're looking at for a moment, and then you realize that it's showing you the Fey Wilds, and the reason you recognize those is you've been there before.
Was this when we were going through that maze, that labyrinth?
Yep. So you recognize that it's from not necessarily that labyrinth, but from the enchanted woods that you were in before.
I want to go back. Perfect.
Goddamn Lost Woods.
No, does not deal with, like, you know, the actual lich this time.
Legend of Zelda bullshit.
Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna go off to the alchemy place then.
Okay. So you head off to the alchemy place, and it's literally just a fully stocked alchemy suite. There's no person there, no attendant. They just have stocked shelves and alchemy equipment, and it's clearly like a public use alchemy station.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna try and make this potion.
Okay. That being said, I'm going to need 3 checks from you.
Shit. Okay. I can do this. It's bad. I can do this.
Okay, so the first step in preparing the potion is to actually prepare the ingredients. That is going to be either, I'll let you choose, a sleight of hand or a survival check.
I think they're both terrible, so I'll pick survival.
Okay.
I'm happy with that so far.
Okay, that is a good roll. Okay, so you managed to wash and clean the ingredients really thoroughly. They're going well. Now you need to actually heat the liquid components to the correct temperature. That will be either investigation or perception.
Well, I'll do investigation on that one.
Okay. So we've got, so far, we've got a 19 and a 21. Looking good. Okay. So with that being said, you're very sure you've got everything the correct temperature according to the book. Now you have to put everything in at the correct timing to make sure that the actual chemical and alchemical properties mix appropriately, and that is going to be a straight up wisdom check.
Okay, cool. Oh yes! Jesus Christ. I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah, you managed to almost perfectly make this potion. You very quickly realize that everything's mixed properly. It's all boiled down to exactly what you need. You take the potion, you strain it into a cloth to remove any stray particles, and then you end up with a bottle of an unknown potion.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'll put that in my inventory.
Okay.
I vote we test it on Poppy.
You can put it in your inventory as unknown memory potion.
Unknown memory potion. Cool.
We sacrifice Amaranth,
To the potion?
and yeah, we sacrifice Amaranth to the potion, and then we test it on Poppy. Poppy is the
You know,
guinea pig of the group now.
I was so close to being so happy that I wasn't being the one to be sacrificed until you then ruined it and said we're going to sacrifice you anyway. Cool. Well, I'm going to make my way back to the inn.
Okay. Also, those were really good rolls.
I know. I was like, don't say anything, don't think anything, just do it, and then just hope for the frickin' best. You will roll properly. You will have a good roll.
Yeah, I mean, an 18, a 19, and a 20. They
Those
literally
are-
got better each time. Yeah, that's almost a perfect potion. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you're gonna be really happy that it was not a bad potion.
That would be kind of funny.
Yeah, I took a little bit of time to write up some side effects depending on how bad the potion was.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that. And I don't like the laughing either.
So what's Poppy doing? Still hiding out?
Yeah, I'm still kind of hiding out, picking up my things
Okay.
inside the Thieves Guild.
Alright. Then I'm just gonna kind of jump forward a little bit here as much as possible. Is anybody doing anything new or of importance?
Petra will go to Poppy and be like, "Hey, we got rooms, I guess." Does she know that? I don't think she knows that.
Not yet.
She
no,
doesn't
I've
know
got
that
Farrell
yet.
No. Okay. Well, do you know of a place where me and my group could sleep?
Asking Poppy?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yes, I know a place.
Now,
It can't be here.
yeah, I was gonna say, now keep in mind, Poppy being a part of the Thieves Guild would probably have their own room at the Thieves Guild.
Which is why I didn't buy you a room, because then you'd have your own.
We might. Oh,
So, are you going to suggest the inn, or are you going to suggest staying at the Thieves Guild?
I'm gonna ask. Did you already guys pay? I'm gonna ask. Petra,
Petra.
Did you already pay for rooms?
Petra just shrugs.
Why would she be asking if she already paid?
And then Petra will also ask, "Didn't get your name. What is it?"
Poppy.
Ah. Well, do you know of any place in town?
There's actually a couple extra. We got enough rooms for everybody in the Thieves Guild. If you guys want to sleep in for free.
Well, I'm going to catch up with the group. If you want to come with, come with.
I'm gonna come with, but I'm gonna hide in hide around bushes and stuff, kind of like fall behind and stuff and hide.
I
Petra
could
will
just see like Petch just walking like strongly down the road, and then just seeing this like halfling just running towards like different places in like a zigzag.
Petra will just be somewhat dismissive. She doesn't respect Poppy yet, but she doesn't mind Poppy just, following her around.
Okay. All right. That being said, everybody eventually working their way towards the tavern then?
Yeah.
You
Me very
mentioned
disgruntled.
you mentioned not finding anything on the liches. Do I find anything on dinosaurs or like social things?
You do, but nothing that's particularly special.
Right. Rip. In that case, you will make note of, fact that she needs to deal with Mage Guild shenanigans and head to find the rest of the group.
Okay. So you head to look for the rest of the group. You eventually will find them, because obviously you would head back in the direction that you last saw them. So you head over that direction. You eventually find the party.
I just realized Amaranth gave me this key to the inn room and didn't mention where the inn even is.
And give it up to Amaranth, everybody!
Yay!
Yay!
She's just like, here, have a room. Good luck finding it. But, so we'll say it's now late evening. You are at the tavern. Is everybody going to bed? Is anybody
Petra's
doing
hungry.
anything? Well, Petra's always hungry.
So Toby will be sitting, on a table by himself, reading his book again, trying to work out what he did wrong.
Okay, on the guns, right. I was like, what he did wrong on what? The guns. Duh. the catastrophe that was his gun.
Petrol will walk over and kind of like poke him. Do you want food?
No, go away.
She just kind of rolls her eyes and walks away to go get herself some food. Now, how many servings is she eating tonight?
Roll
Let's
for
see.
it.
2 servings. So that will be 4 silver.
Dang.
And that will become 7. There we go.
Anybody else that's eating, it'll be 2 silver pieces.
Assuming Amaranth is at the table eating, Niu will ask how her potion went. If she got that settled.
Amaranth
Amaranth is
replies, I
tricky.
don't remember.
This is what I was just about to say. I was going to say,
You gotta be quicker, woman. Come on.
look, great, shut up! Don't rush a lady. I was gonna let Niu know and Toby know that it seems like the potion's is okay. I'm gonna have a drink of it tonight, so please, keep an eye on me just in case, if you don't mind.
What's the potion supposed to do exactly?
It's meant to help me find my memories again.
Right. Question. Defile.
You do realise that probably won't work.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh no, this is Toby looking up and using his logical side of the brain.
Being
'Cause
that with
we
new
know-
studies.
Hold on. Let the Tuni finish.
So, we know that when we all sat down and you talked about your book, like whatever you write in your book, everyone on the planet forgets, yes?
Yes.
Right. So you're going to remember them, but who's going to know that they're right? And who's going to know whether that's a hallucination or not?
I don't know.
So how do you know it's going to work? 'Cause no one's going to know.
But
Not even you do know.
why are you like yucking my yum? Go away.
I'm just saying. How do you know it's going to work? Because we have nothing to base it off of to say how it will work.
I have a note and a book, and I'm just gonna hope for the best.
Right. Okay. I'm going back to my book.
And I'm going to look at Niu and be like, yes.
Yeah. So what were you saying, you?
With her time at the college, would Niu have any familiarity with alchemy things and potentially memory magic / this shenanigans?
Yes. It was a magic school, and alchemy and magic are closely related. I would say she would have some experience with it, yes.
Okay. She's going to ask Amaranth, A, are you sure that this is a good idea? And B, how much of that potion do you actually need to take for it to work?
The book description specifically said that you had to take the entire potion.
Yeah, so I'll say I have to take the entire potion, and I don't know, but that's worth the mystery.
Because, like Toby said, assuming you remember something, the only real way to know if it worked, assuming, something you remember is not you specific, or maybe it will just make you remember everything, in which case, if it is there would be things, theoretically, that wouldn't be you specific. The only way to know if it would be true is if a second person drank the same potion and see if they remembered the same thing. That said, I would have to read about the potion to see what potential side effects it might have.
I mean, I'd let you know what the side effects is, but what I will also say is, yeah, I know that it may not work, but it's pretty hard to not know who you are and know not anything about you, and having to then just make it up on the fly and make up new memories. Like, I could have had a family, I could have had loved ones, and I don't know that.
Right.
And having something to just think that if real or not is better than having nothing.
Right, but what I guess I'm saying is, if you remember things that are specific to you and things that aren't specific to you that somebody else could remember with the same potion and validate it, that would also validate the memories you're remembering of yourself, theoretically.
Well, you could...
You would know they're true.
One thing you guys could do as a potential solution is, if she takes the potion and nothing terrible happens, then you could say, okay, well, the potion is at least safe for consumption, and then there's always the opportunity to make another potion tomorrow or the next day. There's no necessary reason for her to not take it tonight in that context.
Right.
Because even if she has a bunch of memories, you don't know what it could potentially be. Like you said, you're speculating if it's things that, she remembering like other different people's lives and things, then you might want to go get the other potion. But if she's just remembering her own past, then all this speculation you're doing now serves no purpose.
Right.
So what may be the best idea here would be to let her do her experiment, and then after you've got the beginning data, then you can say, okay, how can we validate the bits that we've got?
That's fair.
Because
gotten
hopefully the memories I get may have something to be involved with the Void Journal or to do with the Liches, and which is what we can then verify that with the information that we already have on them. But for me, it's kind of like I want to try, because it's better than have, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm still in the same state I am, but if it does work and I get something back, I've gained something, no matter what the loss is.
All well and good as long as there's not side effects, which the side effects you mentioned don't sound all that pleasant. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Like I said, that's why I'd let you guys know what's going on before I do it, so that, you guys know what's going on. So I'll let Raynor know as well, because obviously he's the cleric and he can heal, so, if I stop banging my head against the door, he can heal me.
All right.
So is that the plan?
That's the plan for me.
Not that
That's
it'll, not that I know that it will matter because I'm not sure how potent the side effects might be, but I suppose if you get to a state where you're like, this is bad, and you're aware of it, I don't know, maybe like pound on the wall or something, yell something, alert somebody. Like,
I mean, like I said, I'll
we-
let you know what my room. I'll keep it,
I'll-
unlocked so that you guys can then come in if you hear screaming.
Petra will interject and be like, I'll just sleep in your room, Amaranth.
Oh, okay. Sure, I guess. Like, I am very shocked by this.
Alright, so Amaranth's gonna drink the potion.
Yeah, and Petra hands her room keys to Poppy.
I will hold on to the keys.
And you will steal the keys.
I mean,
Okay, is anybody else doing anything before going to bed?
if Poppy is coming with us, then, which, fair warning to everybody who wasn't there when Petra was having their secret conversation, finishing the secret conversation, I guess it came out positively in Poppy's coming with, but if you are coming with Poppy, probably prudent that you use that key to stay in that room so that in the morning we don't have to fucking hunt you down. We can just knock on the door, be like, get your shit, we're leaving.
Sounds good.
Right.
I'm actually
So-
kind of glad there's another halfling in the group now.
So, everybody going to bed then?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
pretty much, yeah.
Petra's
I
gonna
mean,
stay up a little bit longer, still doing her little research shenanigans.
Okay.
You will read her heckin' book on how to talk to people and
Okay.
then fucking go to bed.
Alright, when Zara go to bed?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but
Alright, so everybody goes to bed, except Amaranth is drinking the potion, correct? Niu is reading her book, and Petra is doing research. Correct?
Yep.
Okay, Amaranth, I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Ooh.
Potion was made perfectly. Tastes like ass still.
Tastes like trash. You can't tell which.
Okay, I need a D100, please.
Amaranth.
Oh, this ain't good.
That's not a D100. Oh, wait, never mind. Wow, my throws are... Never mind. It just showed her saving throw to me.
Little out of sync, huh?
Yes, apparently.
I don't even see it.
I don't see it either.
I do.
But the
Okay.
saving throw or the D100?
The
saving.
D100.
The saving throw, I don't see the D100.
Oh, yeah. That's why it just came up. It's like, oh, that's not a D100. Oh, wait, that's our saving throw. Why the hell is it taking so long?
Did you roll the D100? Also, I can't hear you, Amaranth.
Had to roll the D100.
/R space 1D100.
No, it's ROOL space slash.
No.
No, it's
/R space 1D100.
That's how it worked for last week.
5. Okay.
Wow.
I know, right? Jesus.
Two fives in a row.
Did you actually roll it, or are you letting Toonie roll those for you?
Okay. I now need a 1D6 from you.
Okay.
Jesus.
Just roll all the dice at once.
Yeah, just roll everything. 5. Okay.
Another 5.
So
Five.
as you drink back this potion, nothing seems to happen for a few moments. About 3 minutes in, though, you start to notice your skin itches. And then it gets itchier and itchier, and you're sitting there trying to scratch it. And you quickly realize your nails can't scratch your skin anymore as your skin turns to copper. Your skin is now made of copper.
Copper Tone Girl.
So you are now unable to scratch this incessant itch for the next 5 hours. Your skin is made of
God.
copper.
This sounds horrible.
Petra just looks at Amaranth. You all right there?
No, I'm so itchy and I can't deal with it.
Petra just shrugs and goes back to writing.
Why copper? Why couldn't it be gold? We could have made so much money.
Hey,
Just someone say gold.
Hey, copper's worth a lot of money.
you ain't touching shit out of me, mate.
Yeah, it's
All right,
worth
that
almost
being
one-
said, that seems to be the only effect of the potion at this point.
Well,
Seems.
tried it.
Emphasis on seems.
I'm just gonna go to bed. We'll try and sleep.
There it is. Okay. So Amaranth lays down to go to sleep and instantaneously falls asleep.
Oh.
Well,
I do not let
So Amaranth, hold on, let me fix the music real quick because this is
Yes,
not the
we-
correct music.
That's right. We need lots of snoring.
fortunately. Oh, that went
Okay.
to full. That went to full.
That's why I said
I didn't even notice that.
So Amaranth falls asleep into a deep magical sleep. And at first, she's seeing blurry images. They're hard to make out. She can't really tell what's going on. But at first, the images begin to take shapes. They're almost like abstract watercolor images at first, but slowly over time, you can start to make out different things. And they're almost like still images of memory that are just popping up and then fading away. And each time you see one that you saw before, you can start to see it a little more clearly. And then they start to string together, almost like placing the frames in order to the memory. And then it starts to make sense. You see an old man, an old tiefling, and you don't recognize him at first. But then you just feel like you should know him. Like he's somebody important to you. And just as you're starting to remember your attachment to him, the door in the scene splinters. There's a massive explosion as men wearing dark robes rush into the building and seize this man. And you can feel the terror that you had at that time. And you realize that with how tall you are, you must have been a child. Because your perspective is so low compared to how tall you are now. And you're witnessing this man being drug out into the street by the cultists. And the cultists waste no time in ending him right in front of you. They drag him out into the street, but you can clearly see through the doorway as he is beheaded in the streets. And then the cultists begin to search the entire room. And they pay no mind to the child. And when you scream and kick and try to get to this person that you can almost remember, you get kicked in the gut and you go unconscious. And then the nightmare fades away for a moment and it comes back. This time, you're a little bit older and you're hunting the cultists because they took something from you. And you can't remember exactly what they took. But you're stalking the cultists, and you finally found where they kept the item. And the memory jumbles for a moment, and you're standing there, dagger in hand, and a cultist on the floor, and the book, the Void Journal, clutched close. Because you had to recover it. Because that's what the cultists came for. You start remembering that this book, your predecessor was guarding. And you were to be the next guardian. But before he could pass it on to you, before you could grow to become the next guardian, he was killed and the book was taken. And you spent years searching for this book to get it back from the cult because you knew that you had to have this book. You had to protect it. It was the only legacy that your predecessor had left to you, and you had to protect it. So you got the book and you left, and the memory fast forwards and you're running, and there's a black cloud chasing you, and a lich's hand comes reaching out, but you barely manage to duck away, and you remember that this is the nightmare that you had originally, the lich coming for you. And the memory fast forward, years go by, and you're constantly on the run. And then there's a scene that doesn't quite feel familiar. You're researching about how these people are able to track you, and you realize that your memory of them, the very essence of themselves in your mind, is how they were tracking where you and the book were. And so you used the book to erase them from your own mind so they couldn't track you anymore. And as you use the book, the nightmare fades away.
Shit. Okay.
That being said, it is now morning time. Amaranth is exhausted.
Niu will get up and head over to Amaranth's room because she didn't hear anything, wants to make sure that things are fine. Knock on the door.
The door's open, so you can just come in. I'll just say come in.
Petra had passed out at the desk.
So how'd the potion go? Also, I'm assuming by now 5 hours have passed and her skin's no longer copper, so I wouldn't
Yes,
see that.
it is. It is
Okay.
morning. The copper has already worn off because she slept through the night.
Yeah, how'd the potion go?
It went. I think I should get everyone in for this one, but I remember, and it's not looking good.
So that sounds like a conversation not to be had over breakfast.
No.
Niu immediately looks at Petra, expecting her to bolt up.
Petra hears breakfast and falls out of the chair as she's waking up. Breakfast?
Do we want to do this before or after?
I would say after, let people wake up fully. But also, what with the Thieves Guild in town and their apparent knowledge of what's going on, because they somehow needed that mercantile permit license thing before we even said anything to them, it might be prudent to not talk about it until we leave.
Yeah, that's fair. We should head out because we don't need to be here for long. We just need to register, really. So yeah, we'll go down for breakfast and then we'll head out,
food?
and then I'll let people know.
Yeah.
Okay. That being said, I'm going to put on less somber music. Hopefully I used the music effectively there. I feel like I did. I gave myself
you did.
goosebumps.
Yeah, you did good there.
You did.
That was...
That was good.
Heartbreaking for me.
You do not know how vivid my imagination was when you were explaining everything.
Good. That means I did a good job.
You did a really good job.
Okay, that being said, so you're going to wake everybody up for breakfast, or just wait for everybody to wake up?
Well, I already woke up
downstairs.
Petra.
Toby's already downstairs eating breakfast.
Makes sense.
You know what? How about I roll how much servings I eat?
Okay, if you want to roll, you can. 1d6.
1d100.
Yeah.
No,
1d 10,000.
1d20.
No, 1d6 for how many portions she can eat.
1d100, and she literally eats the whole town out of food.
Okay, 2.
It's another 4 silver.
Yeah, I usually only require a Constitution saving throw if it's 4, 5, or 6.
This is a light breakfast for Petra.
Yeah, this is a light breakfast. She's fine.
She'll have a heavier lunch though.
Probably.
I'm working my way downstairs.
You will
You
obviously
weren't
join for the food.
there.
No, no. Yeah, that's right.
You were
No,
at the
Poppy
feast.
was.
No, Poppy was.
Poppy
Oh yeah, no,
followed
Poppy followed. You're
Petra.
right. Yeah.
Petra gave
Yep.
Poppy the key. You told Petra probably prudent to fucking stay here so that we don't have to hunt you down.
Makes sense.
Yep. So I'm walking downstairs and I hand the keys to Petra.
And Petra hands them to Amaranth.
Thank you. I'm completely zoned out and also very tired, so
Petra will ask if she's alright and offers some of her own food to Amaranth.
I guess I can get rid of this clock now.
yeah. I wish I never did this in the first place.
How many times is it gonna pop up? No, I'm just a lot.
Yeah,
Hopefully not.
fun fact, that clock, I was going to be revealing those nightmares slowly over time until the clock finally finished, and then you were going to have that dream. That dream was an inevitability. It was a matter of time.
Okay, gotcha. I just bull rushed it pretty much.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Right.
But I'll let Petra know I'm fine. I just remembered some big news, and we're gonna have to have a good conversation about this outside of town.
Well, Petra continues to offer some food to Amaranth.
I'll have a little bit.
I was gonna say, you see how she is with her food? That's high praise.
I know, right? Jesus. I should bow and be like, I'm not worthy. But yeah, I guess it's all 2 silver for everyone else that they're having breakfast.
Yeah, it's only more expensive for me because I'm just cool like that.
Right, so I assume everybody's at the same table for this breakfast?
Yeah.
Do we have any other business in town? Or should we, skedaddle?
Oh, we gotta get the horses. Then we just leave.
We're heading back to Londinia.
I will need to pack up my books and stuff though. I'll go ahead and go and get on that. And Petra gets up and goes back up to the room to grab her things.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna finish breakfast and then grab my horse.
Okay.
It's good.
So you're all basically finishing breakfast and then probably dipping out of town?
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Miu's gonna quick stop at the,
Definitely.
lady that was infatuated with Toby.
Okay.
Well, if Mew's-
And
if Mew's gonna quick stop, Windsor's gonna circle K.
and just inquire with them if there was anything interesting going on in the town in terms of strange shops or something that is like a touristy attraction kind of thing that people will travel to come see, just to see if there's anything, you know, that might be worth their while for a quick hour or two before they leave.
Okay. So she says that, so, you know, you ask her that, and she thinks about it for a moment, and then she's like, no, not really. I'd say the most people come here for is the Merchants Guild or the Thieves Guild.
How bad are these thieves that people know about them? Come on.
The Thieves Guild is notorious, but nobody knows exactly where it's at. They know that the Thieves Guild has a presence in every town.
They're infamous. That means they're more than famous.
Exactly. They're in the famous, so obviously it's a good thing. No.
Right, you will thank her and start heading towards the stables, I guess.
As they're getting the horses ready, Petra will stop for a second, look at Poppy, be like, and kind of like rub her chin, thinking.
That's rather rude to rub somebody else's chin without asking.
Right?
She
Rubbing my
rubs her
chin.
own- No, she rubs her own chin. God damn it.
Let's eat, Grandma.
Yeah, so you're all sitting there trying to figure out how to work this extra person on the horse. And Rig comes around the corner, having already arranged with Poppy before. Rig comes around the corner with a horse for Poppy, all the gear on the horse ready to go. And basically is there to see Poppy off. But she hands over the horse, kind of, you know, gives a nod, and then takes off.
What form was Rig in?
This time, it was really weird. When you looked at Rig, you almost couldn't see features. It was like, it wasn't blank. There were definitely features there, but they were so plain that you almost couldn't look at her.
Ah, good skies.
Valley of the Dolls, not Valley of the Dolls. Is that right? Valley of the...
Interesting.
Well, saying that, Petra will get on the horse that she and News are riding on by herself again.
All right, athletics check. Yep, hopped right up, had no problems. One of these days, she's gonna fall on her face. It's gonna be great.
Or
One of
get
these days, she's gonna get worms.
bucked off.
Ouch.
Get bucked off by the horse.
I just like smacked my teeth with my cup.
All right, so everybody hitting the road then?
Yep, and you will
Yes.
jump up on the horse and immediately get the book out again. Still more
Okay.
mercantile bullshit to cover, apparently.
Okay. In that case, everybody's back on the road again. And just so you know, we have about 100. Yeah, we have 100 minutes. No, we have about 30 minutes until the end of the session. So that being said, I'm gonna have everybody roll. Everybody should have gotten it, right?
Yep.
How dare you?
Wait, mine didn't even... Oh, there it is. Oh, it's so horrid.
Well, this usually isn't mine.
Apparently, all Amaranth can roll right now is 5s.
Hey.
The last 4 rolls
She-
were 5s.
She spent all of her luck on that potion.
Amaranth,
Nothing.
Amaranth, I think you should buy a lotto ticket.
But
No,
yeah,
this is the
Well,
worst
I'll
time
take
for
it
that. She
before-
buys a lottery ticket right now. It will probably be so bad that she'll lose money.
all right, so you guys
High five.
you guys are traveling down the road together, riding probably 2 by 2 because the road is wide enough for it, but not necessarily wide enough for a 3 by 3. You make it out of the town fairly easy, get down the road quite a ways. We'll say that you're about 3 hours down the road. At that point, you're not near anywhere, like not near any major cities or anything. Is this the moment that you want to have that conversation?
Sounds like a good plan.
I'm immediately gonna turn to Poppy and be like, listen, what kind of influence does the Thieves Guild have? I need to know this is a safe place.
It is a safe place.
So there's nobody around stalking some shenanigans, like,
No.
we're good?
The
You were
Thieves,
good.
All right.
like I said, the Thieves Guild is an honorable Thieves Guild, so they're not going to spy on one of their own. Now that you have Poppy with you, you essentially have immunity to the Thieves Guild as long as you don't betray their creeds.
All right. Probably a decent time to have that conversation then, Amaranth.
Yeah. So I'll group everybody up. We don't need to get off the horses unless people want to rest. Sit down for a bit.
Are you guys going to rest, or are you going to keep traveling and talking?
I'd say
How long
I'd
does
say
the
keep
conversation gonna
traveling.
take?
Like a short rest, or
Oh, you take like
No.
5 minutes.
Okay, go. We'll start on the horses then.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, I took the potion. Initially, my skin turned bronze, and I was insanely itchy. However, when I decided to just go to bed, and I fell straight asleep, and I now remember everything. So, the book I have been holding, I am the guardian of this book, and it's been passed down by different generations, and I was the next person who was meant to guard the book. However, I was far too young at the time, and I don't remember his name, but from my memories, it looked like either like a grandfather or a father figure to me. And he basically was taken and murdered by the cultists. They stole the book.
The same cultists we're dealing with now?
Yes.
Yes.
I was gonna say, you didn't super specify, but I was assuming.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same.
by the Shadowfingers, I'll say. By the Shadowfingers. So they took the book, but as I grew older, I trained myself to get revenge, which I then did, and was able to grab the book back. However, the Lich, and I'm guessing from my memories, it's Phobrix, as he seems to be the most poignant of in my life.
Correct.
Has been chasing me non-stop for this book that I took. And in doing so, I found out the reason why they were able to keep finding me was because I remembered them and they remembered me. Which is why then I left myself a note saying, basically, this is your new life. Don't fuck it up. And whatever you do, don't let anyone take this book. And then wrote my name in the book, which meant I forgot everything. So that's like the good news.
So now the question is, now that you remember again, are they gonna start fucking tracking us again?
That is the bad news. So I mean I don't know, but
well,
I'm
so-
guessing so.
Theoretically, if you writing your name in the book like erased you from everyone's memory, they still don't know that you exist because the only reason you remember is because of a potion.
That's
And
true.
presumably, they don't know because they didn't get a note left for them like you left for yourself. So we might be okay. We
However,
might not.
remembering the hag, she knew who I was. And I don't know how she knew it, but she knew who I was more than I knew who I was.
Maybe
But-
some shenanigans with... if she was related to the cult, maybe it's some shenanigans with the god they worship or something. Maybe the book can't erase memories of a god?
Maybe.
No, we already know the book can. You've already known this. You're the one that read the passages. We lost knowledge of 3 gods, Guthix being one of them.
People lost knowledge. The gods didn't necessarily lose knowledge of themselves
Yeah,
or other
she
things
means
written in
erase
book.
the memories from the
Oh,
gods,
yeah.
not of the gods.
I mean, we don't know yet. Hopefully, if they do, it's going to take time for everyone to remember. It's not going to be a simple process. where they all just suddenly ping and remember and then they start chasing us. It's not going to be that simple. And 2, if they don't remember, then that's perfect. We've still got a chance to catch them up instead of them catching us up. Right.
Well, that probably means that. And then Niu just cuts off, shoves the merchant book away, and pulls out the book she got on the 5 generals. Probably research time.
Well, this is perfect. Then we don't have to worry about looking for Phobrix. They'll come to us, and then when they capture us, we'll have them lead us to Phobrix. He'll tell us his maniacal plan, and as he's doing his diatribe, we'll kill him.
Yeah, but you can't just kill a lich. We need to find. I mean, how do we kill a lich? Because I'm guessing we don't know how to kill a lich.
We do.
Yep,
Niu
we
had
do.
that book. We have to find and destroy their
Phylactery.
phylactery.
Phylactery. Which could be
Phylactery.
multiple. Might not be just one.
And apparently the phylactery is something that is meaningful to them as a being, like, maybe the skull of their firstborn child that they killed to become a lich or something. I don't know how liches are made. I didn't read that part of the book yet.
Or like the bow from the hunter lich, or its wolf companion. Could be either one of those.
Either way, we need to find out what their phylacteries are and then try and destroy them.
Which might be troublesome. Maybe I need to read the other book? Maybe it has information on how to actually destroy a phylactery? Like, do they have special magical powers that make them harder to destroy, or are they just a normal everyday object? Niu just starts ranting to herself as she starts theory crafting on how they actually have to, like, destroy these phylacteries.
She starts spiraling, basically.
It's like Petra with the murderer thing.
Am I a murderer?
I am the murderer.
Yeah, so I think the sooner we get to the Fondinian Empire and tell the Rose Guards, the better.
Great. Are you reading about the 5 generals then?
That's a good question. I think yes.
Read one book.
It's probably prudent to. Well, I mean, you'd have to.
I was just saying, do you want to read up on those books? I could read up on the merchant book, or read a different book while you're trying to do the research on this.
You have to lead a horse though.
That is true.
Well, I mean, you could do what people used to do a long ass time ago, which is just hitch the reins of one horse to the saddle of another.
That's true.
Or learn to ride with your feet. That's all.
Yeah, that's a special skill though. If you give me an athletics check, I'll tell you if you can read and write at the same time.
It's a 5.
Just how dare you? Is that for me, or is it just for me and Niu?
For you. Niu passed hers earlier, so she's able to read and write. Let's see if you're able to.
Well, to be fair, Niu's not directing the horse.
Yeah,
it's
you
Petra
could
that's
do
directing
acrobatics or athletics, whichever you prefer.
I prefer acrobatics because I have a -1 in athletics.
Yeah, both of them make sense for horse riding.
Oh, come on!
Yeah, you're incapable of reading and writing.
At least it wasn't a 5.
Yeah, a 5 would have been better than a 2.
You're sitting there trying to read and write at the same time, and you get motion sickness. And...
If somebody is willing to lead your horse, then you will be able to read, but otherwise you won't be able to.
Petra will look over at Amaranth, struggling to read while writing. Do you want me to take the lead of your horse?
Please.
Okay, so which book is Niu reading and which book is Amaranth reading?
Well, seeing as that Niu is the only one that can really read the the Generals of the True Pantheon tome. She's gonna read that.
And why do you say that?
I can
Because
read
the
that.
book will actively lash out at somebody else.
Only if you tell it to.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess it's up to Amaranth if she wants to dig into the life cycles of liches, which may have more information on how to destroy the phylactery, or the
Alright, so which
mercantile book.
book does Amaranth want?
I can read the life cycles of the phylacteries, and then we can give maybe Windsor or no, actually, no, because you guys need to also be able to read them, right? So you
I can't read Abyssal, so I would be useless.
Well, the life
only other
cycle of the
part-
liches book, I don't know if it's in Abyssal, but
Oh.
presumably the merchant book is in common.
Yeah, the merchant book's in common. The life cycles of liches is outdated, but it is common.
I'm leading the troops, so basically I can't read really because
Yeah, because you're
crap.
reading the map.
I'm reading the map and making sure we're on the right paths.
All right, so Amaranth has life cycles of liches. New's reading the Merchant's Guide.
I'm reading the Generals of the True Pantheon,
Okay.
hoping that I might glean some information on what the lich's phylactery might be.
Okay. Then I will exposition dump a bit of knowledge about each of the generals, information that is in the book. Okay? So the first chapter is going to be on Jerdu. And it specifically says that Jerdu was an ancient barbarian known across all of Nolia, the continent you're on, for their unbridled violence. They were originally a soldier in Zaros' army, and at a young age, they quickly rose up through the ranks. And it was in this army that he found his love for killing, raiding, and pillaging. If there was somebody weaker, he would kill them. If there was somebody stronger, he would fight them head on, intent upon taking them down to prove his strength. He was very reckless and very violent, but also very powerful. It was his reckless actions that led to his death, which was while raiding a village in the northern provinces of Nolia. He met his fate at the hands of a soldier there. And though he outmatched his opponent in every way, the crafty soldier managed to lure the overconfident barbarian into a trap. Thinking that the guy was just a coward, he blindly chased after the soldier, but as he rounded a corner into an alleyway, he was immediately beheaded because he never saw the twin axes coming from either side. But in those fractions of a second before his head was cleaved from his shoulders, he silently swore a wrathful oath that he would not die here. He would survive, return, and hunt those soldiers down. And normally those would be meaningless, but that was not his fate. As he died, with his axe clutched in his hand, after a matter of weeks, he came back from the dead, crawled his way out of his grave, axe in hand, and razed the village to the ground. Ever since then, he was a lich in the army, in Zaros' army.
So it's quite possible that that axe is his phylactery.
Izokis. Izokis was an ancient bard of fame, and her music was known across all of Nolia for its captivating, bewitching quality. Izokis was one day faced with her mortality, which she had a disease that would surely kill her within a year or so. Fearing that death, she began to work on a new song that later became known as the Song of Immortality, which she poured herself and her work tirelessly over, exploring every possible avenue until she had it perfected. And the very first time she sang the song, she could feel her life being bolstered by the song itself. And it was an enthralling feeling, and every audience she captivated with her music was like growing younger by a decade. Also, that's the alarm saying we've got 10 minutes left. But yeah, so with each new listener, she felt more alive, more youthful, and more vibrant. But that didn't last. It was unknown magics that she was tampering with, and while the song truly was making her stronger, it was not actually prolonging her life the way that she believed. About 6 months after finishing her magnum opus, she passed away from the illness. It was almost a century after that she found herself reviving in her crypt. And her song that she had written was still widely held as one of the most beautiful songs that had ever been written, and many bards to that day still sang her song. Phobrix.
Oh, fuck. I really hope that a phylactery can't be an idea, i.e., or in, like
a song.
Yes, although I suppose if it is a song, you could theoretically write it in the book and everyone would forget it and then the lich would just die.
But then everybody would also forget every single word in that song.
No, that they'd write the name of the song. Like, she'd write the name of the song.
Yes, it would be like what I did with, I said hello, because I only wrote hello. It would only be that word, but if I wrote the Song of Immortality by blah 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 blah, that would then probably be forgotten because it's that statement, not just the words in that statement.
Okay. Phobrix. Phobrix was a wizard in Zaros' army, and he always showed an aptitude and unquenchable thirst for all things magical. Which, of course, Zaros recognized this and gave him unlimited access to all of the world's knowledge on every topic relating to magic that he could find. He spent his life perfecting his necromantic powers, but as he began to reach his twilight years, he started to fear his own death was approaching. His studies left the necromantic arts and then turned towards the pursuit of immortality. He consumed every known article on the topic to no avail. Pleading to Zaros directly, he begged for any knowledge or power that would allow him to attain immortality. Zaros then offered him a deal. And while the exact details of that deal are lost to time, it is known that Zaros directly offered him the knowledge of how to attain lichdom in return for an oath of fealty. Phobrix died voluntarily in his laboratory. He had spent the last year of his life learning and preparing the ritual that Zaros had bestowed upon him. And his death came at the climax of that ritual, wherein he slit his own throat at Zaros' altar with a bejeweled dagger. And Phobrix awoke an unknown amount of time later. His skin was pale, his figure withered away. At first he was horrified by the state he found himself in, until he realized how easily his powers came to him. He not only simply cheated death, but become stronger for it.
So, Amaranth, you might want to read up on if that book contains how to become a lich, because it sounds like there might be something in the ritual that may be Phobrix's phylactery.
Gotcha, will do.
Ether. Ether was a paladin that fought against Zaros' army in the dwindling rebellion of ancient times. While the masses served under the Dark God during the Oblitus Tenebris, there were a few pockets of resistance that served other gods. Ether was one such person. In his early adulthood, Ether took the Oath of the Ancients and was determined to commit his life to defying the Dark God and all of his followers as a paladin of Seren. This losing battle was certainly a death sentence, but Ether had convinced himself that he was prepared for such a fate when it would come to find him. Ether was eventually on the losing end of a battle, a particularly fierce battle. And by the time the call to retreat had sounded, it was too late for him to do so. He had not only been flanked, but completely surrounded on all sides by the enemy, and it was only a matter of time before he would be slain. And seeing the look in their eyes and how they toyed with him, he knew he was nothing but a joke to them at this point. And they did play with him. Instead of killing him, they broke his limbs, they broke his body, they toyed with his mind. And it was not until they finally got tired of playing with him that they tossed him aside. They didn't even bother to kill him off. They left him there lying and broken amongst the corpses of all of his friends. And he swore a new oath. He swore to end the light. If he could crush the light, then all would be darkness and the fight would be over. Nobody else would have to suffer how he was. And it was in that moment of weakness that Phobrix seemed to suddenly stand before him. And it was then that Phobrix said, "If you wish to fight for our Lord, swear fealty and cast off your oath now and forever." And in his anger and bitter haze, Aether swore, without thinking through the repercussions of his actions. As the words left his mouth, so did the light leave his heart. He could feel how heavy the shadow around him was as the light no longer held him. He was dying, and the Lich had tricked him into surrendering his final bastion, his very soul. To his surprise, though, he awoke to find himself in a dark room in an ancient castle. He had no idea how much time had passed or where he was. All he knew was that he had been spared the cold embrace of death, or deprived the warm embrace of light. However, it did not take long for him to forget the light and remember his determination to end it.
So he's an Oathbreaker paladin. Got it.
Gee, he thought he was a normal paladin as a lich?
I'll have to, at some point, confer that information to the rest of the group, because I personally don't see anything in that might point towards what his phylactery is.
Zihas, the one that you've met. Zihas is the longest.
Phobrix too.
Zihas is the longest chapter. Hold on. Here we go. Had to change the music real quick. Zihas was an only child when his village was destroyed. He doesn't even know if his family survived. They told him to run, so he ran. He spent days stumbling through the forests, living on the scraps he could find when and wherever he found them. Several times he almost met his end at the hands of simply berries or a venomous creature he didn't see. When his strength finally did give out, he collapsed to the forest floor and just awaited death. His life had been pain. It would be nice when it was over. He had nothing left anyway. His family was gone. His home was gone. It was a welcome sight when he saw the hungry wolves stepping out of the brush. He smiled, closed his eyes, and waited for death to claim him. Of course, this left him all the more surprised when one wolf stepped forward and dropped the fresh kill that it held in front of the boy. It took a solid few minutes for his brain to catch up and stop reeling long enough to understand that the wolves were helping him, not hunting him. He quickly made a fire and cooked the meager meal that was essentially a feast, the first real food he'd had in weeks. He almost couldn't keep it down when the refeeding syndrome hit him. It took nearly twice as many weeks to regain his strength than it had taken him to lose it. In all that time, the pack supported him. In turn, he supported the wolf pack. He was... hold on, I lost my place. In turn, he supported the wolf pack. He was able to make shelter and fire to keep the wolves dry and warm. Being an elven child, he didn't have much skill for hunting, so it was the least he could do. As he began to grow, though, he learned from the pack. They taught him how to hunt, how to move silently in the forest. and how to kill. By the time he had reached his first century, he was a skilled hunter as to rival any legendary hunter before him. To any outsider looking in, he would appear almost as a creature of the woods with how at home he was. He could be standing mere feet away and nobody would be the wiser. He had become the ultimate hunter. Of course, this did not go unnoticed by the villages nearest to the woods. They began to decry him as some sort of evil spirit or a spy for the dark god. Soon enough, the villagers, hunters, and even an old retired mage banded together to hunt down the accursed wolf pack and the supposed demon that kept them. The wolves stood no chance against the hunters. They were mere wolves, after all. The mother wolf, Hashir, seeing the situation for what it was, fled, grabbing only a single pup with her as she did so, that pup being Zihas. As they fled, the mage hit the mother wolf with a curse that drained her strength the further she went. It was only a matter of time before she could collapse and, not long after, die. Hating the villagers and all they stood for, Zihas swore vengeance, and for the first time, prayed to Zaros. If the dark god would save his mother, he would use all of his hunting skill to kill the god's enemies, to live the lives of many enemies in exchange for the life of his mother. The answer came to him in the form of Phobrix. As the prayer finished, the Lich stepped from a portal and made a simple offer. Zaros would never let them truly die. In exchange, they would serve him eternally. The moment the boy agreed, the Lich outlined the expected ritual. He would have to kill 100 priests of light, and both he and his mother would have to eat their hearts. Before leaving, the Lich dispelled the curse on the boy's mother, and placed one of his own, one that would serve as a leash should the boy or his mother wolf attempt to flee their bargain. The mother would die on the spot. The leash, of course, was unnecessary. The boy had no intention of going back on his agreement, and he never even questioned it until the very end. As he ate the 100th heart, Phobrix appeared before him again and told him the final step to reaching immortality, shaking the boy to his core. It was an impossible task. He could never do such a thing. The final hunt for the ritual. He would have to hunt his mother, and she in turn would hunt him. Zihas, of course, planned to refuse, but as he opened his mouth to say the words, his own mother lunged at him, tearing a chunk from his arms. It was clear that she intended to see the bargain through and expected him to do the same. In emotional agony, Zihas drew his weapon and pointed it at his mother. If they didn't kill each other and serve the new god, then they would die anyway at the hands of the Dark Army. At least this way, they could still be together afterwards. That did little to comfort him as his blade sank into his mother's chest and her fangs into his throat. The simultaneous death of Mother Wolf and Zihas was the final piece to the ritual. As Zihas died, his soul split into two halves, one half returning to his body in the left eye, and another half into his mother's on the right eye.
For the love of Christ, don't tell me it's the fucking eyes that are the phylacteries.
Eyes and gateways to the soul.
Son of a bitch.
So many eyes!
How would we even fathom trapping, restraining, and then spooning out the eye of a lich to destroy it?
It's the eye of a lich. It's the... Oh, first we need to destroy the wolf's
be
eye
fair.
first, and make him have power.
To be fair, he kind of just... We did his test. We passed his test.
No, we were strong enough to survive. We didn't pass.
We died.
You weren't there.
I know.
But luckily we didn't die. We did survive. And we had a unicorn on our side.
Thank
Yes,
fuck for
you
that.
did.
So, having read through the whole thing, Nia would expedition dump this to the rest of the group as best she can, putting specific emphasis on the fourth one, which was the paladin
Ether.
as she wasn't quite sure what his phylactery might be. Open to
Well,
ideas.
that's time.
Yep,
we'll have
that's
to
the
look
end
up-
of this session.
We'll have to look up liches in the next episode.
Yep. Ending
On the-
on a pretty crazy note there.
On the
Legit.
Talk to you guys later.
But before
guys.
before you two
Bye.
take off, specifically you, Bex, how do you like what I did with your character's backstory?
It was very sweet and very sad because what it's done for me is it's asked me to like want to try and find out more and more, because obviously I know I have this figure, but I don't know who they are. Like it's sweet and it's sad because I could see myself doing something like that as my character. Like
Yeah,
help them on revenge.
I very much took your character into account when I put all that together. But that was what I was working on when I said, "Hey, do you mind if I like go crazy with your character's backstory?" And you were like, "Nah, go for it." And I was like, "Yes."
I don't give a shit. I don't know anything.
That's a rabbit hole you are now down.
Well,
Enjoy.
well, that was
expect
fun.
a halfling barbarian to be sitting on your shoulders sometimes, Bex.